I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
All right. Morning. How we doing this morning? I just got a phone call from an idiot. Hold on. Okay, let's get it. We got a lot today. Hope everyone's doing good this morning. Hope we're having a good morning this morning. Oh, wait, you're not supposed to see that. Hold on, wait, you're not supposed to see that. Don't look at that, chat. Don't look at that. That's bad. Don't look at that. I'm not allowed to see that yet. Stop it. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Bro, do I even want to watch this? Ugh. Fuck me.
I know this place. I've been here before.
Ooh. Cinematic, Rivals. You can play as a T-Rex in Rivals? What? Hold on. Oh god. How's it going, Artemis? How's it going, Nigel?
Do your thing, Double D. Lone Bro's got your back. You're safe, bro.
The sheer mass, the sheer like girth of this T-Rex is kind of ridiculous. I hope this thing has the you know, the health to cope with this in a multiplayer game. What the hell is that? I have never played Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Huh. There really ain't much of shit. I'm trying to steer clear of the gun ones at least until Friday. I want to do this Battlefield 6 one so badly. Oh my god, dude. If YouTube wasn't such a bunch of cucks.
Call of the Elder Gods from developer Out of the Blue Games handles a careful balancing act between story-focused adventure and puzzle solving with grace. As the long-awaited follow-up to 2020's Call of the Sea and its emotionally gripping puzzle box adventure,
Beastie
it's another
Boy!
rare Lovecraft-inspired game that effectively wields the surreal mystery and emotional stakes of confronting the unknown, rather than the macabre aspects of cosmic horror you might expect. The original game focused on exploring a winding, lush island that gradually revealed deeper mysteries and crushing loss with its protagonist Nora, and Call of the Elder Gods continues that story as a noticeably tighter sequel that sees its dual protagonists embark on a parallel journey set in motion by its predecessor.
Salve, Cornathun, Nakotas.
Call of the Elder Gods is set 2 decades after the first game and stars 2 leads, newcomer Evangeline Drayton, the daughter of Frank Drayton from the original game's ill-fated expedition,
Professor Everhart. It's me, Evangeline.
and returning character Professor Harry Everhart.
Good. That means we're on the right track.
With Evangeline experiencing a lapse in memory and dreams of an ancient city of elder gods, she seeks out Harry Everhart for answers on what was uncovered from that expedition.
I've seen one of those creatures before. In my dreams.
All the while, the original protagonist, Nora...
We got some new shit for us to watch today. Well, it's not really new. I used to watch it quite a bit until the whole Iran stuff, but ever since, you know, Trump's been dragging his feet with his dick in his hand, things have gotten quite slow. So I figured I might as well pull up some shit we used to watch.
Actor Cissy Jones narrates the story's events with a level of self-awareness that
Ain't nothing going on anymore, man.
stranger layer of intrigue.
A question she didn't know how to ask the professor, because every time she'd tried, the right words never came out.
While Call of the Sea's remote island jungle was equal parts an interactive mystery box filled to the brim with puzzles that tie into some storytelling that tugs
point and click?
on the heartstrings of protagonist Nora, Call of the Elder Gods is more of a globe-trotting Indiana Jones-style adventure.
I can already see the score on this piece of shit, too. I can already see it. I can already see the fucking score on this piece of shit. I can already see it. What kind of scores are we looking for? I'm gonna say a 10 to 10. What do we got? 7? Okay, I'll put 7. 7, 10. I'm gonna say 8. I feel like if you choose 10 of 10, it'll cover 10 and 9. And if you choose 7 of 10, it'll be 8 and 6. So what we'll do is we'll kind of try to make it a little mixed, if that makes any sense. So if we got 7s, so 6, so we should do 4. So we'll do 4 of 10, and then 2 of 10. What the hell? It's not typing. What the fuck was that? 2 10. So when you make your decision, make it with the thought that you're thinking one above and one below the number you choose. Ain't no way this game's not about to get a fucking high score, too. I just know it, bro. I just know it. The fuck keeps sending you to a pre-recorded gaming wait video? Really? That's really weird because I don't have any pre-recorded. You think 0? Hey, I mean, hey, you'll be the only one in chat that says that, so you might be right, man. I mean, I would hope that they would rate it 0, but it looks like everybody's sticking to 7 of 10. Okay, everyone. So 7 of 10 means that it would be 7. It would be 8, 6, 7, and 8. So one above, one below. So y'all saying 6, 7, or 8? Damn. So people actually decided that it could be a 10 of 10.
Complete with familiar stylings like streaking red lines going across maps to give it that sense of scale.
I believe
this change expands the series' scope and leads to some unexpectedly profound and bizarre moments for its protagonists that even stretch across time and space.
6, 7.
Have I crossed another one of those portals?
6, 7?
It channels the tone and style of Lovecraft's short story, The Color Out of Space, over the course of its 5-hour journey. Yet it takes it even further by drawing on
bro,
its
I'm
novella,
old school.
The
I'm
Shadow Out of
6'9".
Time, as the story escalates into out-of-body experiences and time-bending phenomena. Call of the Elder Gods takes the time necessary to absorb you into the perspective of its characters as they explore the Everheart estate.
That's what you say to that whenever someone tells you 6, 7? Nah, bro, I'm 6'9".
All right. I'll explain everything.
The story escalates nicely as Harry and Evangeline travel to increasingly peculiar locations, such as an abandoned Nazi compound housing corrupted eldritch experiments and even the ancient city of the distant past. It leans into that aforementioned style of sweeping adventure.
I'm not gonna lie, though. Why the hell does that dude look so scary? Jesus. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like it might have a very rich storyline.
Indie proud.
What a creepy looking face he has.
Although it works for the most part, you aren't as connected to each location by virtue of its brisk pace as opposed to the original's more cohesive setting. Just when you're taking in the fantastic visuals and mesmerizing atmosphere of a specific chapter's location, you'll be whisked away to the next area, which sometimes funnels you into less imaginative enclosed spaces. This disconnect also extends to the in-game animated cutscenes, which showcase the strong personalities of its characters, but can also come off as stilted transitions between chapters.
Welcome back, Evangeline.
Much like the original, Call of the Elder Gods puts a keen focus on investigation and puzzle solving across its chapters. With the help of Nora's trusty journal, which keeps track of all
Hey,
relevant
I'm fine with puzzle solving, alright? You throw me in front of a game with some good puzzles like maybe Uncharted or God of War, you know, I'm all day, son. What sucks about God of War puzzles is when you figure them out, no matter how many times you play the game, they're pretty simple. They're so good.
The classic Myst and Riven approach to collecting
just too
clues
easy,
left by
man.
other characters and inspecting environmental details to overcome obstacles. There is some genuinely inventive puzzle design at work within Call of the Elder Gods, organic moments where you're learning how the pieces of its puzzles fit together in the process of deciphering solutions, and it's one of the great joys that complements its wondrous atmosphere.
What kind of a door is this? Doesn't even have a lock.
Well, what you do in a situation like this is you just climb over it. Just climb over it. It's not a door, it's a gate.
Symbols.
A favorite early section involved exploring the estate grounds during a storm. You have to carefully position statues at right angles to unlock access to a gated area, all while thunder and heavy rain was coming down. It's a sequence that starts leaning into that Lovecraftian influence of directly placing you in strange situations where otherworldly forces creep in to add a subtle sense of dread.
No.
Much like the original, Call of the Elder Gods weaves its sharp, visually striking environmental presentation to uplift its story.
But I'm gonna stick with chat. I think a 6,
I
6, 7, or 8. But I'm gonna congregate more. I'm gonna
gives each chapter a unique theme and
levitate more toward, gravitate more towards 6. I think
So beautiful here.
that's what it should be.
Compared to the more straightforward progression and ramping up in complexity of puzzles in the original, Call of the Elder Gods' more fragmented structure unfortunately leads to uneven difficulty at times. While the pacing and level of challenge generally felt in sync, so much so that you might be able to knock out some of the seemingly complex puzzles with ease,
W Wicked West. Let's go Wicked West.
Difficulty in terms of an overload of information and moving parts to keep track of.
W Wicked
This
West.
was particularly troublesome when trying to get a handle of the more machine-heavy puzzles, which can take a lot of cycling back to your journal as if combing through an instruction manual. There are even some walls that can leave you retracing your steps for extended periods to find any missed clues that would help lead to a solution. There is a handy hint option in the main menu to offset those periods of being stumped, which will outright—
I bet it took them days to solve one of these puzzles, guys. I'm already thinking of the pigeon trying to move the box over to get the chip, and the Cuphead scene that we saw. You remember that? I can already see them struggling with these puzzles, man. They probably had to email the developers so many times to be like, how do I do this?
Give you a step-by-step breakdown of puzzles in select chapters. It's a helpful feature that will keep you moving along and prevent stalling in your
I don't give
progression,
IGN
but some
enough
aspects
credit,
of the
man. Let me
puzzle
tell you
solving
something.
could have benefited
Let me
from
go
more
on and send them a
natural ways
like.
of leading you on, or just better explanations of the mechanisms.
How
behind
else
its
am I going to get the butt of
Alright, I think I've got it.
the butt of jokes?
Redirected the black ooze upward, so
Thankfully, its stumbles don't drastically detract from what Call of the Elder Gods is all about, that feeling of uncovering a great mystery across time and space.
Let's go,
It does so in a less isolating way compared to the original, and with the two strong leads whose connections to otherworldly forces
I don't think I've
naturally
ever played
unravel
that
as you
game,
take
the
in clues and
MYST.
progress. Call of the Elder Gods even includes moments where you'll swap between both Harry and Evangeline to solve puzzles in tandem.
Up to you now, Professor.
The best interactions between the two are during story moments where you'll make decisions on how they'll react to an interrogation or a deeply affecting moment of personal trauma. This is all while a sinister cult is chasing the very same thing you are, trying to
pull it
stay
up
one step
after.
ahead to seize what it believes to be some kind of ancient power. It provides the adversarial element needed to keep the stakes high and broaden the consequences at hand.
Don't listen to her, Pharaoh. You must have recognized the girl's
Bro, what's with all the hickeys you got on your face? What is going on there? Is that like, what is that?
cognitive pattern, I'm sure.
Bro, it looked like you fucking fell out of a tree, man.
Overall, it's an elevation of the original game with its clever use of dual
Like, how the hell do you
I'm sure
have
of it.
like? Because they're like dot shaped. This dude had like rocks thrown at him or something. Why do they look like that?
Overall, it's an elevation of the original game with its clever use of dual perspectives, and Harry and Evangeline's parallel emotional journeys are impressive as they grapple with their memories of the past and the possible futures that lay ahead of them. The strong writing and voice performances by actors Yuri Lowenthal and Mara Junot, respectively,
Those have got to be the most AI represented images I have ever seen in my entire life.
Performances by actors Yuri
Those look so fake, bro. There's no way.
Lowenthal and Mara Junot,
Oh, God. It's the one thing that ties them all together, boys. It's the one thing.
respectively, do well to bring the characters and story to life.
I know you're trying to
Oh!
protect me, but I need you to trust me.
No.
Just this once.
However, Call of the Elder Gods doesn't quite stick the landing as it closes with an unsatisfying finish that leaves a lot of its mystery on the table. Still, Evangeline's arc as a new protagonist adds greater weight to the original game, giving its story of the failed expedition
going,
a more
Alex.
poignant
Alex,
sense
you're
of
early.
tragedy.
Lord, none of this makes any
Okay.
sense.
Call
Let's
of the
go,
Elder
Melissa.
Gods wonderfully captures the otherworldly tone and sense of mystery of its predecessor, which remains a hidden gem of this decade. While its ambitions chip away at feeling as captivating, it's an especially touching sequel to further explore the events of Call of the Sea while still having some rewarding Myst-style puzzle solving
Let's
to
go,
complement
Cross
a new
Forever.
story that's about finding a sense of closure. Developer Out of the Blue's follow-up nails the emotional core of its first-person adventure effort, all while giving its characters and puzzle design time to shine.
What? Bro! Oh my god. Dude, they are just embracing the woke element now. What? This is crazy, bro. And they gave Mouse PI for Hire a 6! I just don't get it, bro. Oh! I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. How is it that because some little twat decided that he didn't get the noir style fucking detective game he wanted, he gets to choose to give it a fucking 6. But this son of a bitch gives this an 8. Oh my god, this is so frustrating. And then Pragmata too. They give Pragmata a 7. Oh my god. An 8. Bro, like,
You can close.
what a joke, man. God damn, that's irritating. Ooh. Oh, shit, hold on. What do we got here?
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
Hold on. Wait a minute. This one's calling to me. Hold on. Oh, let's go. What the fuck is this? There's no way in fucking hell they would have this shit here. No. 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 Bro, you can't even have your helmet on your head, or it has to be secured before the vehicle starts going. Because, like, you think these vehicles never... Dude, there's no way that's secure enough. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Velcro's strong. No. No! Stop it! That's what you got all the compartments on the side for. No! What? Oh, low-key, this looks kind of really cool, though. Hold on. What is this? What the fuck are these? I don't know what these are. Color in range status not chargeable. I have no idea what these are. I've never seen these. Enjoy 3 new fire trucks, aerial rescue, and pumper. They're called apparatuses, man. They're called fucking apparatuses. Get your shit right. Why do these look so weird? They look like 18-wheelers. Oh, that's not a fire truck. That one is. No. I've never seen these trucks. It looks like a rehab truck. Why does it look like a rehab truck? It looks so funny. Woo! That's the big boy right there. And it still looks fucking weird. Bro, they need... What are the cabs to this? Are they just straight up 18-wheelers? I don't get it. Oh, damn it, I missed that. Hold on. Ain't no way in hell you ever gonna pull that truck up that close to that fucking shit. There's no way, dude. That is an ass chewing. That is an ass chewing and a half. Oh, he pulled that shit. He pulled that shit right up next to it. Why would you, dude? What are you making, a barbecue? Bro, they just put the ladder right over top the fire. What are they, like, skewering up some meat? Like, what is this? They just put it right over top. Like, what? if you had like the hose up there, you're not gonna hit anything, bro. It's gonna be going over.
Firefighting simulator. Ignite. United.
I love it, dude. I remember seeing this a little while back. This firefighting simulator, dude. This shit was funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Against fire. Kenworth fire.
It looks legit though. Like I would definitely recommend this.
Truck pack.
But just whoever decided to, you know, scare up the firemen. I guess they had decided that he wasn't hot enough. Oh shit, that got me good, bro. What's the name of that thing? I just found another chat. Oh yeah, that's the big boy side. That's the 1080 by 1920. That's still me. I live 2 times on YouTube. I got the big one, and then I got the shorts version, and then I got the standard big version. It's still me. Where did that game go? Someone had said... Chat. Where's it at? Puzzles till I look online. A reasonable amount of time is like maybe 10-15 minutes, I would say. Unless you don't have internet, then you're forced to do it. Oh, Infidel's in the chat. How's it going, Infidel? I didn't see you pop up. Where is... I think it was Sticks. Sticks, what was the name of that? What was the name of that channel? I mean, that channel, that game you had said. Was it Sticks? Who said it? Someone said it. Issue again. You're still having the same issues again. I don't see it. I didn't even see Cross Forever in the chat. W Cross Forever. That's it. Drive by Horizon. That's it. Drive by Horizon. There we go. Hold on, wait a minute. This is a channel. Hold on. They don't have this on IGN or anything? Damn it! You see, the issue is that Drive By Horizon is its own YouTube channel. And if I react to this, they could strike me, and I don't want that. Ah! No. Okay. I don't want to deal with the copy strike. Or, it's a strike. It'll fuck me over big time. It'll fuck me hardcore. I can send them an email, but as far as reacting to their stuff without their permission, can't really do that. All right. So y'all may have seen this guy pop up on y'all's feeds. Y'all may have not. His name is More Perez, and I used to watch his shorts quite a bit. And we're probably going to start doing at least one of his a day now, since he's made quite a bit of content. He's had he's had time to catch up. So you'll understand who he is very shortly.
This is the world's most poisonous bird, which is weird considering it does not naturally produce any toxins whatsoever. So how the fuck does that work? Well, this flying carrot is a hooded patootie.
I love that it per the usual, let me guess, there's only one place that it lives. Australia, right?
And it's basically nature's version of Kirby. But not because they ate a lot. No, this little guy was discovered in Papua New Guinea back in the late 1980s by a scientist named Jack Dumbarker. And while handling the patooey in the field for his research, he very scientifically discovered a super cool bird fact. Touching them made his skin tingle like TV static before it went numb and then started to fucking burn.
Yo, what the fuck? So let me get this straight. This dude picked the bird up and his hand went numb, which means that it stopped getting circulation and then it started to burn. That sounds like a neurotoxin to me, boys. I don't know about you, but everything that I've read about neurotoxin screams neurotoxin whenever I hear this.
Upon further research, he discovered that may possibly have been because the secret herbs and spices God used to coat this sentient KFC bucket from beak to talon was fucking batraka toxin. The same shit that coats poison dart frost. Otherwise known as one of the most potent neurotoxins on the entire fucking planet. Because of course it's fucking neurotoxin. I cannot go 5 minutes without it being fucking neurotoxin. But like I said, they don't naturally produce it. No, they eat it. See, these fuckers love to eat.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait. So we found the one creature in the world that can eat those little bastards? That's insane. Bro eats that shit, absorbs the poison, and then produces it as sweat. That is crazy. Bruh, like, this bird, nah, man.
These things called merillid beetles. And those beetles evolved batraka toxin specifically to avoid being eaten.
Oh, so they eat the beetles.
That sign, however, did not stop the patooey, because it can't fucking read. Also, they have poison immunity. So, they eat the bugs, absorb their poison build, and redistribute it to their feathers and skin. Now, any parasites that bite them fucking die, touching them hurts you, and anything dumb enough to eat this forbidden zinger box enters the forbidden sleep.
Oh, I got the next name that we're gonna call somebody when they get banned. The Forbidden Sleep.
This is the world.
Yo, W. More Perez, let's go. Alright, so the IRL streamer just got 2 people killed. Put them in the box, keep them in the box, never let them out of the box.
A prank call that resulted in 2 random people losing their lives on New Year's Day. What a crazy...
I can believe that. That's what happens if, that's why swatting is so dangerous. Swatting someone's house is a very dangerous thing, and a lot of these little bastards online, whenever they figure out, you know, a content creator's house where a content creator they don't like, they usually swat the house, which could lead to somebody getting shot and killed by the SWAT. That's why it's so dangerous.
Headline. This is genuinely one of the most horrific stories I've covered in a while, mainly because of just how
Yo, W.
random and
Atozi.
preventable
Go
all
check out
this
Atozi on YouTube. W. Atozi.
Part of it's exploiting potentially...
Actually, you know what I should start doing? I should start sharing the videos. I should start doing that. There you go. That's a Tozy right there.
Unstable people for content, and part of it is wrong place at the wrong time. Even though the YouTuber didn't orchestrate any of this or carry out any of the violence, none of this would have happened if he hadn't made that prank call for a measly $5 donation. But to make things even worse, he also tried to pretend like he had nothing to do with this horrible tragedy. So he deleted the VOD and pretended like he wasn't streaming that day. He since changed his story after his own Discord notification showed people otherwise, and now his...
I don't understand why these dumbasses do that. Like, there was another YouTuber or content creator that made, so like, he's since been convicted. He made a recorded pre-stream, right? And he had uploaded it, and he had made it to where it was going to release on a specific day. And he told the chat, because it was pre-recorded, that he wasn't going to be able to read the chat because, you know, something was broken, right? And while his stream was playing pre-recorded, he went off and killed his wife and child. And then when the police looked into it, they figured out on YouTube's algorithm that, well, not the algorithm, but you know, by subpoenaing the information, that he uploaded the video a couple days prior and registered it as a stream. And that's how they managed to get him and throw his ass in jail.
Is stating that he was simply,
I just don't understand how you think that you can just delete. And by the way, deleting that video is spoliation of evidence. It's just not a good idea to sit there and upload something and then delete it thinking you're going to get away with it because you're just going to get another charge.
Confused over the dates. But one thing
remember, if you look guilty, you might be guilty.
The streamer who goes by Rowan YT is, I guess, no stranger to these pranks or facing backlash for them. The dude clearly loves attention on the internet. In the past, he's boasted about, I guess, the achievement of making a kid cry and pretending to hit a baby. So, seems like an average archetype of a prankster. And believe it or not, he's also admitted himself to being arrested for these prank calls before.
And I really have the funniest pranks when I talk about myself. I think it's super funny.
I feel like if you swat somebody, it should be an attempted murder charge. It should be. Whenever, like, for example, me right here, being right here, if I hear somebody come through that door, I'm probably going to grab my gun. I'm not even kidding. And I would probably get shot and killed because of it. If it was a SWAT team. And that's the issue with swatting. That's the issue with it. Is that you never know how it's going to go down. You really don't. If I ever become big enough, whenever I move somewhere out of this fucking shithole, I'm going to inform the local police that I'm a content creator and to be on the lookout in case they get any calls or anything that may induce swatting.
People, and it goes super viral on the internet, so that's going well.
Yeah, there was even a boy who started crying. What did you do about that?
Yes, there was a boy who got very emotional when I told him he was being referred to Holt.
This is Joris, the neighborhood officer. Good evening. We have established that you, as far as we can tell, left a cobra in front of the door, and we would like you to come to the station tomorrow.
Nee, ik heb het helemaal niet gedaan.
You didn't do it, did you? Are you sure?
Oké, ik heb het wel gedaan.
That is quite...
Okay, so this guy's calling people, acting like the police. That is crazy.
Enough now, boy. That is enough. I mean it. Enough. You need to take it easy. Just take it easy.
That one's kind of funny. I'm sorry. This one's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're not, like, putting your hands on somebody or causing anybody any, like, actual emotional distress, I could kind of get by it. He's also in a public space. He's not in a store. I can see it, okay? I could let this is a pass. But the minute you start putting your hands on somebody, you start harassing somebody, because, like, if you're just passing by, like the old school, like, fart jokes or pranks, where you, like, sit down on a bench in a park next to somebody and you just, like, you have, like, the button that you press that, like, lets one rip, right? That's different. But the minute you start impeding someone's right to walk somewhere, or you physically pushing your hands on somebody, or you're causing, like, destruction of public or private property in, like, a store or something, or you're harassing people in the store, you're in a store knowing full well what you're doing, like driving stupid shit, like using the carts and whatever, that's whenever, in my opinion, you've crossed the line. Like, it's too much. It is. It's just too much.
Just stay easy, boy. You are not getting any more food, boy. You are going to be listed on Craigslist.
And at the time he was arrested, he was claiming that this is supposed to be like
kind of funny
turning point for him. He was going to change his ways, but I guess not.
You could do pranks in public, but there is definitely a line that you just don't cross. And the issue with prank YouTubers is that they always have to find that line and skirt it or cross over it in order to get more and more views. Like, it crosses the line from prank content creator into nuisance content creation, and that's where they go to jail.
The prisoner, Rowan JT, has just been released from prison. At 7 in the morning, I was dragged out of bed, literally. At one point, 5 of those big guys walked into my room. Well, then, you can just explain that to the judge, probably for a prank. You know that threat? That's what I was being suspected of. He says to me, yeah, I know that's what it's about, and you probably shouldn't sleep tonight.
Because on January 1st, 2026, he made a prank call that ended up resulting in 2 fatal consequences for 2 teenagers who were...
At the same moment, 3 Syrian boys from an asylum-seeking center on Slothrog were on their way to the McDonald's and a walk through a dude, I don't know what the fuck that is. A park. The moment they entered the park, they were shot at. 2 of them were killed. A third managed to escape. Oh my god. What the hell?
On their way to McDonald's when a random man opened fire on the group.
No more pranks, boys. I actually signed something saying I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
And I know you're probably thinking, wait a second.
How did this how did
this have anything to do with a prank call? How did this even happen? Well,
let me guess. He called up the one person and said that they were going to be, him and his boys were going to be at a park. And that, I don't know how that could...
Apparently had this whole gimmick where viewers could donate and nominate someone for him to prank call on a stream for content. Now, obviously, this sounds like a recipe for disaster, but I guess people like this because they can use this guy as a vessel to prank their friends or people they know.
And I've started live streaming various concepts, including, you know, prank calls.
So people are able to donate their phone numbers, and then you go ahead and call all those numbers.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
I think the best scary like pranks that I've ever seen were Scare Tactics. Scare Tactics was an old TV show that used to play on Sci-Fi, and they had the best prank shows. And it kind of pains me to see a bunch of idiots, these morons that are doing this kind of stuff, not know where that line is and are leading to people getting shot. Like there was another person that, the reason, okay. So a guy had went into a mall to nuisance stream, because that's what it is at that point. He got in front of somebody's face who was, I guess, an Uber driver, and he had a gun on him, right? And the guy the nuisance streamer kept getting in his face, and then he shot the dude. He shot the nuisance streamer. He got arrested, but, you know, his charges were later dropped because that's what happens when you impede someone's, you know, right to move past you, and you just keep getting in their face when they warn you not to. But it sucks that instead of doing this the right way, you're kind of, the bad apples are all spoiling the bunch. Because there are some people, like so for example, there is a channel where they have a bike that they put on like the side of a light post, right? Or they have a U-Haul truck that has boxes in it, and they'll wait for somebody to steal it. Like, they'll get up inside of the U-Haul, and they'll go to steal the boxes, and then the back of the door closes, and then they drive around like crazy, and they get tossed and trampled around in the back of the truck, right? Or, for example, they put, like, a pole on the seat of the bicycle, and whenever you sit down on the seat, the pole goes up your butt. And so that way, whenever people try to steal it, it like goes up their butt. You see, I can get by that. That's funny. But whenever you're just doing this dumb shit, man.
Reach out and call up the various friends of our generous donors. For instance, I might target an uncle's small business or perhaps a local driving school for an elaborate prank. Honestly, my pranks are the absolute funniest if I do say so myself. They are truly hilarious. They
that
always
shit
go
is
viral
so
online,
funny, bro.
and everything is going really great for me.
So viewers could essentially nominate
I would watch it on stream, but the issue is that I haven't heard back from them, first and foremost. And secondly, YouTube would age restrict my videos almost instantaneously, so I can't do that. I don't need more trouble from YouTube.
Business, pretty much anyone they wanted to be pranked as long as they paid the guy $5. And I guess in the $5 donation, along with the victim's information, the donator was expected to provide a story for Rowan to go along with during the call. And these stories just normally consisted of people trying to pick fights with other people. So whoever he called, he essentially just tried to pick a fight with them. And he would take it to the extremes. He would threaten people, he would play gun sounds going off on a laptop, or call a 14-year-old and claim the police were coming to take him away the next morning. These became unhinged pretty quickly.
From now on, just positivity.
What did you think of the venue?
It was quite cold outside. It was cold, but I had a cardigan on.
But why don't we just head into town and see if we can pull a prank?
Right, why not? Well, at least we bought some baby gear. That's a maxi cozy and a playpen. So then you're going to hear this. And then naturally, we are going to gently give that poor crying baby a few little taps.
What is his
Tell
name
me,
then?
what is her name? She's a little girl, isn't she? Well, if I had a daughter,
what's her
I
name?
would name her Lena. So let us just call her Lena.
I think that last call is the one that landed him behind bars to begin with, but I guess after that point, he was supposed to have realized how stupid all this was, and clearly, he can now land in bars if he continues doing so. But according to another Dutch YouTuber I found who does commentary on Roand, the numbers of views he got dramatically dropped when he wasn't doing prank calls. So that naturally led him back to doing prank calls because obviously he wants to get views.
It was going pretty well until he realized he wasn't actually getting any views anymore. And then he just started live streaming prank calls again. 11 hours ago, a day ago, 2 days ago, and 3 days ago. He just started streaming prank calls daily again because he wasn't getting any money or views. And he recorded 2 videos that had nothing to do with prank calls after that whole incident. That was after arriving in Tenerife at our beautiful villa. And we caused chaos at the supermarket in Tenerife. And those are good vlogs, of course, but Roland probably wasn't happy with the view count because he has 40,000 subscribers and he got 4,000 views on both videos. For those who can't do the math, that's about 10% of his total subscriber count. His live streams are actually much better than the videos he posts.
But I guess this faithful $5 donation that Rowan received described the person he would be calling as an unstable nephew named Effie. And he said that Rowan should use a fake gangster story to prank him. So the prank allegedly consisted of Rowan pressing this F.A. guy and claiming to be a gangster who F.A. owed money to. What could go wrong? And after a bit of arguing, the fight escalated, and it's reported that F.A. actually wanted to meet up. And I was a little bit confused on who actually instigated at first, and honestly, right now, without the audio, it really can't be 100% confirmed, but I do think it's important to consider.
It sounds to me like it sounds to me like he was instigating a fight with an actual gang member. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. And the issue is that it led to 2 people getting shot and killed. What the hell were you thinking? You should have, like, the minute that the guy started trying to meet up, you should have just said that it was a prank. How could you possibly get off the phone with this individual and let it escalate to the point where you actually allowed this man to go to a park and shoot 2 people? Holy shit, like, you have to say that it was a prank in order for it to be at least a prank, bro. Holy crap.
Whose fault here, because this wouldn't have happened if a prank caller didn't instigate this. But according to Dexerto, according to a preliminary hearing on April 22nd, the Dutch Public Prosecution Service said that F.A. was told by the caller to come to a Blue Bridge and Widget Park. Widget Park. I have no idea how to pronounce Dutch names.
Nope.
Widget Park. That can't be right. And it wasn't F.A.'s idea to meet originally, but again, we can't. This means there's a chance that it wasn't F.A.'s idea. Park right here. I can't pronounce it. But I guess all of this means there's a chance that it wasn't F.A.'s idea to meet originally, but again, we can't be 100% sure. And who's to say what would have happened regardless? But either way, what happens next is a senseless tragedy. It is awful because F.A. apparently went to this bridge that he agreed to meet at, except he came armed. And at the same time, 3 teens were walking to McDonald's through the park where the bridge was located, and before anyone knew what was even happening, F.A. allegedly opened fire on the 3 teenagers, which then took the life of 2 of them. I don't know the exact timeline after this, but then it's reported that Rowan deleted his VODs, and when asked, he denied that he had any involvement.
Oh my god. This dumbass motherfucker really thought it, dude. He really thought he was gonna get away with that? What? Holy crap. I just can't,
but he didn't go as far to say that he wasn't even live that day. So apparently there was no chance that he could have had any involvement. Impossible even. Like,
just because you delete the freaking VOD of the stream doesn't mean that it's not taken down, man.
Dude, this is also going to be really interesting to see what happens with this case, because I don't know how this would be handled in the US, and I definitely don't know how this would be handled.
Think about all the clips that come out of that too. Like, there's no way you're going to get rid of all that.
Europe. I mean, there's no way this prankster ever thought in a million years that something like this would happen. Now, obviously, there is a massive risk when it comes to prank calling, and there's especially a massive risk when it comes to prank calling unstable people, especially when you're warned ahead of time that this is an unstable person. But again, unfortunately for him, even though he claimed I wasn't live that day, the internet, you know, it's forever. And obviously people were able to connect the dots. Plus, his Discord notifications told a very different story than what he was saying.
I mean, this guy has built his entire career on being fucking stupid. Do you really expect this dumbass to do anything other than get 2 people killed?
to have going live to do prank calls as a Discord notification when he was claiming, I didn't stream that day. What are you talking about? I mean, hey.
So wait, this guy went through the trouble of deleting the VODs, the clips, the actual, like, stream itself, but not once did he think about maybe deleting the notifications that he left in Discord? Seriously? Seriously.
But this kind of sounds like hiding evidence. But anyway, Rowan's
it is.
statement
It absolutely
changed
is.
on April 24th when RTL News reported through his lawyer, Gerald Rotoff, that the denial was basically based on incorrect information about the date. Rotoff said that Rowan now retracts that statement and regrets the confusion. And obviously, I'm not going to sit here and speculate, but, you know, it's a little convenient to just forget the date that this all happened, but who knows? Currently, though, Rowan is being viewed as a witness rather than a suspect, with his lawyer arguing it cannot be concluded that the prank itself caused what happened. And again,
but it did.
Fair, I don't think anyone could have ever expected.
It did, though. The thing is that if he had not escalated it to the point where this guy went to the park, he never would have been in the park. And those teens would have been able to go through the park and get to the McDonald's that they wanted to go to. They would have never crossed paths ever. It never would have happened. It absolutely was caused by him. How could you possibly say anything else?
Something like this to happen, but still, the dude indirectly got two teenagers' lives taken by doing that, by instigating this dude to do this. This is just such a tragedy. But regardless, I don't even know what the desired outcome was here. Did whoever donated know that this person might be gang affiliated? So maybe the person who donated...
I think the guy, there's no way you can convince me that the guy that went and did this wasn't gang affiliated. He did it way too quickly.
Streamer up to do something really stupid, which obviously he does over and over again, but obviously pushing the prank so far that they have to meet up in public, nothing good could ever happen from that. Especially when the context of the whole prank is, hey, you owe someone very dangerous a whole bunch of money. Like, that's just not a reassuring call to get, especially as an unstable person, because at the bare minimum, he wanted to cause this guy some anguish for content. And also, as the person who's being prank called, if you have his name and number, why would he not assume that you know where he lives and that his family could be in danger? So all of this is just so bad. But reports also state that FA suffered from PTSD and schizophrenia and had not been taking his medication.
Oh yeah, no, dude, what the shit? Oh yeah, no, this dude was completely cooked and he wasn't on his medication. What the I can't believe this. Dude, I can't. And they're really trying to say that the lawyer that he has must be either really good or really stupid, because he's really trying to pull the, well, we don't know if this would have happened because of the prank or not. Dude, like, I can't get over this.
6 months at the time of the call. So again, recipe for disaster. The prank caller didn't know this at the time, but still, a recipe for disaster. But I am definitely wondering, could this streamer actually get charges from this?
He should. He absolutely should. Like, if anything, he should share the murder charges that FA had. If anything, there's no reason why this guy should get off scot-free. That FA, the guy that shot those two teens, never would have even been in that park if he had not been amped up by this fucking schizo prank streamer, this nuisance streamer. Absolutely, he should absolutely be charged. That's insane.
There
shouldn't even be a question.
Charges for this. I don't know. Regardless, all of this is a tragedy. It should have never happened, but
yeah, he was the catalyst for the whole damn thing.
Because Dutch law requires establishing intent to prove murder, and the defense contends that FA's actions weren't premeditated, but rather a panicked response to what he believed was a legitimate police investigation spurred by the prank.
And then not only that, it was his responsibility as the nuisance streamer to break it down and be like, oh, dude, haha, it's just a joke. I'm just messing with you. I don't want to meet up. But instead, he antagonized it to the point where the man showed up to a park with a loaded gun. The whole point of a prank is so everybody gets a laugh out of it. If you don't even tell them that it was a prank, and you've got this literal schizophrenic dude walking around the park with a fucking gun with PTSD, in fear of his life and his family for something he didn't do, you're going to run into a shitload of problems. Even if you didn't know he was schizophrenic, you coerced him to the point where he left his house, and you never once stopped him and told him it was a joke. You're a fucking piece of shit. You need to share in the charges. You need to have the same charges. conspiracy to commit murder or something. I don't
The
know.
only thing that we know is that 2 teenagers are not here because of a prank. A preliminary
Well, they had their
hearing has
whole
been
lives
scheduled for
ahead of
July
them.
8th, so we'll likely have a lot more information then. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yo,
Peace.
W a tozy, dude. A W a tozy. What's this?
I haven't been able to stop shaking.
Oh, I don't care about this. Does Penguins have anything else? Hold on. I need to send an email to Jake Manunro and see if I can react to his content on stream. Let's see it right here. Let me see if he's got anything else. What is this?
I am filthy pig stink greasy right now, and I was just about to hop in the shower, get all clean and bathed with my cheeky soap, but as I was getting the towel, I had a memory hit my hippocampus like a
His
Jimmy
hippocampus, man. That's crazy. Man, don't you just love it whenever things hit your hippocampus? Your campus of hippos? Oh wait, what the fuck am I doing? There you go. That's Charlie. That's Penguins. If you haven't seen Penguins before, then go stop living under that rock. Go check them out.
Tron Brain Blast. Earlier today when I was streaming during a tournament, I saw a ton of people ask me for hours what I thought of Watchmojo making fools of themselves. Like the Watchmojo crash out is what they were saying. And when I saw
Man,
it,
I remember seeing those Watchmojo ads everywhere. I've never been to Watchmojo. I don't even
initially
know
I
what
had
the
to do
hell
like
it
a
is.
triple take. Because I hadn't seen the name Watchmojo
In years. Yeah.
Who knows how long? I'm telling you, 2026 is dusting off some fucking old school villain cameos here, like James.
Hey, you know
Charles
why?
about-
Because all these people that were very relevant became like another one is Honey. Honey was another one. They had that massive scandal and all with all that fraud that they did. What they would do is they would use the coupons that. So you would, as a content creator, you would get the coupon. You get the discount code, and then you would give that to your community, right? And then the community would click the link, and then it would take you to the Honey site. And then for whatever reason, the way they had it, well, it was obvious it was on purpose. It would automatically open up a second tab whenever you go to check out, so the content creator would never actually get the discount or the kickback from the community using their discount code, and it led to a mass amount of problems.
Watchmojo. So I decided to pump the brakes on the whole hygiene thing so I could take a look at this before I lost the memory again forever, just have it fall into the void. And it is kind of wacky, so I do kind of want to yap about it because it's really goofy. And Watchmojo is, again, a name that I think probably most of you haven't thought of in a long time. They were one of like the earliest Corpo Slop YouTube channels that capitalized off of, here's the 5 most terrifying Disney deaths.
I don't have a problem with refugees, man. I just don't want them here. Just send them back. I've never advocated for the death of illegals or migrants here or immigrants. I've never advocated for their death. Jesus Christ. The hell,
Here's
man?
the
You think I am?
Most important lessons we learned from The Poop That Took a Pee, the musical. That kind of thing. It was just algorithm bait in the early-ish YouTube era that caught fire, blew up, and they became like a conglomerate. Nowadays, you never hear that name brought up, not even as an insult. It's just a forgotten relic of the first wave of corporatization of YouTube content. But they didn't close their doors and sail off into the sunset.
Penguin follows the flow a little too much, even for my opinion, but I don't like his politics, but I like his opinions on other matters.
They still are out there with a sad whimper, just petering through and still desperately clinging to their formula that doesn't really work anymore, but they're still just tooting out the slime goop that they always did. 13 times toothpicks appeared in Quentin Tarantino films, or top 10 moments AI.
Penguin talked about the whole Renee Good and Alex Peretti thing, and that's why people are very miffed with him when it comes to the right side of things, the right wing side of things, I guess is what I should have said. So
made the internet mad, that kind of shit. And recently,
Yeah.
they made a comment that everyone has been dunking on, and that's why Watchmojo.
Well, a YouTuber known as Voyan released a video called Watchmojo's Downfall Should Be Celebrated. The video talks about how Watchmojo was some of the first slop content on YouTube and has slowly decreased in views over the years. Not that their content was ever high quality, but it's definitely gotten a little bit worse.
A little bit worse? What are you smoking? Get off the crack pipe, Buster. Right there. You know how every harsh belly fine down there.
I don't.
And
I
it's
don't know what the fuck
pretty
he's saying.
embarrassing.
I
They
don't fucking care. I don't know what the fuck he's rambling on about. I don't
Post
care.
would have gotten you erased.
I thought maybe there would be a little bit more to that, but I guess not. Whatever. Let's move on.
Entire internet banned from the entire banking system.
Oh, this
4
is
years
good.
ago, this post would have gotten you erased from the entire internet.
It is still a problem today. It is still a problem today if you make a comment like this,
From the
but not
entire
as bad.
banking system, fired from your job, and blackballed from future employment in the Fortune 500.
Yep.
So what's the post? Last week, the United States refused to participate in the UN's review of the Global Compact on Migration. The United States objects to the Global Compact.
This is a big one, guys. This is what led to the mass influx of illegals we have in our country. I always wondered where it came from, and now we know.
Impact on migration and UN efforts.
This is going to piss y'all off even more. This is going to be, it's going to make y'all want to leave NATO and anything to do with the UN even more so. And anything to do with, like, the UK, the UN, anything like that. Y'all aren't going to want to do anything with them.
Facilitate replacement migration to the United States and our Western allies. Man. Each dot represents 100 migrants. This has 50 million views. Oh my, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Bro.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Jesus.
It's a swarm, yes, on just this tiny little area. Facilitate mass migration into America and Europe, even as citizens of the nations called for restrictions on migration. Now the Global Compact's latest report.
It gets worse. They facilitated the boats. They facilitated maps. They gave them routes on how to get into America. You're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. They gave them the keys to the kingdom and literally bust them over here and let them in.
Urges nations to expand migration pathways and pursue regularization of migrants. So these people in the UN that are doing this stuff, you need to hold them accountable, because what they've really done is they've facilitated a cultural genocide. They've facilitated thousands of rapes, murders, and they've done so under the guise of morality.
And it's not even to their own, it's not even to their own state, to their own country. That's the sad part.
NGOs handed out maps to migrants en route to the U.S. After facilitating mass migration to the United States, UN agencies condemned the deportations of illegal aliens. As Europe sustained migratory pressure, the UN agencies condemned frontline states who refused to open their borders. And while the UK faced unprecedented illegal boat crossings, the UN agency condemned plans for deportations. UN officials lobbied aviation regulators to prevent the deportation of migrants, an appalling violation of the UK's national sovereignty. The United States will not legitimize global compacts that enable mass migration.
They push this narrative on countries all over the world with Western cultures. They did it all over the world, boys. And now what should happen to those people that because the head has a snake, right? The snake has a head, right? They need to figure out who facilitated this, whose idea it was, or the group of people whose idea it was. They need to put them in jail and put them on some Nuremberg trials. Just like they did with the Nazis. That's what they need to do. This isn't just a mass genocide that happened all over the globe, and the mass rapes. This is the destabilization of the U.S., Britain, United Kingdom, Japan, everything. This is the biggest form of colonization, and I hope one day they'll look back on this and they'll actually talk about it as what it was. It was a form of mass colonization. And I hope that we can look back on it and do what we do now in history and just, smock at it and be like, damn, that must have sucked for them. And then we can move past it. I hope that it doesn't define our history. I really do.
Into America or Western nations. Under President Trump, the State Department will facilitate remigration, not replacement migration.
And it's not just me saying, you go to these NATO meetings, you meet with people, what they will tell you is our shared history, our shared legacy, our shared values. Well, if you erase your shared history, your shared culture, your shared ideology, your shared priorities, your shared principles, then you just have a straight up defense agreement. That's all you have.
Yep.
So what I'm trying to point to, and what we've tried to point to, is very simple. That is, at the bedrock and at the cornerstone of our relationship, for example, with Europe, is the fact that we do have a shared culture, a shared civilization, a shared experience, and shared values and principles. And this nation are the inheritors of, in many cases, because many of these ideas that led to the founding of our country found their genesis in some of these.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
If you take that away, if that's wiped out because for whatever reason it's no longer a priority, I do think it puts.
I'm also really glad, there are some Americans that have I guess maybe an ego thing of people not wanting to admit this. But the real truth is that America came from Europe. A lot of our ideals, our values, and everything are shared with Europe.
And it's something that we should be apologetic about. Anyone who doesn't recognize, for example, that many of the features of our system of government find their root in Roman and Greek history
that's my guy, bro.
Is a fool. It's just not true.
Yeah, man.
I think Marco Rubio and JD Vance are going to be the next dream team for the presidency. I do. I feel like if Marco Rubio gets office, then JD Vance should be vice president and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? If JD Vance gets, and same thing with Pete Hegseth. I'd like to see those guys as president one day. I would.
I'm really happy to see this. This is great. And Mark's completely right about this, by the way. 4 years ago, this post would have gotten you banned. It's crazy how much progress that we've made in only 4 or 5 years. Think about in the peak of 2020, COVID hysteria, and then think about where we're at now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Governor just destroyed his own career, getting caught on camera, pathetically pleading.
By the way, this is a profile.
This Democrat candidate for governor just destroyed.
Check out Decoy, Decoy. Hell yeah, Decoy. Go get him, boy. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, wait, no, not that. Close. There we go. Decoy.
Destroyed his own career, getting caught on camera, pathetically pleading.
By the way, this is a profile piece. This is not a gotcha piece, right?
Well, look, I think these questions are fair. It's in order.
This Democrat candidate for governor just destroyed his own career, getting caught on camera, pathetically pleading.
By the way, this is a profile piece. This is not a gotcha piece, right?
Well, look, I think these questions are fair. It's in order to learn about you as a candidate.
So long as it's about the profile.
I don't know how you define profile, but I'd like to begin the interview.
The way I describe profile is you talk about all the things that I've done, things I want to do.
This idiot really thinks he's running for dictator.
The hell?
Already expecting propaganda pieces from his preferred media outlet.
During your time as HHS secretary, a New York Times investigation found the health department couldn't find some 85,000 children it had released.
That's not accurate. What you just read is not accurate. First, that's what I'll say, because it was never the case that we could not find kids. You're essentially, I don't know if you got those talking points from Donald Trump.
It's from a New York Times article.
That's not what the New York Times article said. The New York Times said that
the agency could not reach more than 85,000 children overall. The agency lost immediate contact with a third of migrant children. So it is what they said. It's literally highlighted. It's in the text. Maybe you should read where the information came from. Don't you just love it whenever people immediately fall onto Donald Trump's sword and come to find out that it was just people trying to do the right thing? And that's what it's always been all along. Don't you just love it, guys?
Individuals, the children and their sponsors, did not respond to calls. They didn't say we couldn't find kids.
Working
Yeah,
overnight.
that's usually what that means. That's typically what that means. That means that you don't know what's going on, and then you probably went to the locations where they were last known, and they were no longer there. Yeah, that would definitely classify as not unknown locations, would it not?
Slaughterhouses, replacing roofs, operating machineries in factories, children as young as 14 years old.
That part occurred after these children had left the care of Department of Health and Human Services.
Do you let these children go into those individual sponsors in their responsibility?
Some of these
So he signed off on a bill that allowed these kids to be part of slaughterhouses and like manual labor. That is insane, bro. Oh man, what's the matter? Your curtain's being pulled back, and all that dirty little information that you guys tried to virtue signal on top of that dying hill is just all coming to light now. It's all coming to light, all the corruption and nasty, icky shit y'all did. Congratulations, you cooked yourself.
Probably because they needed to earn some money.
So first it was that.
So first it never happened, and now it was because they needed to earn some money. So you are literally doing goalie for child labor. That is crazy how quickly that shifted, huh? Don't you just love it?
Was a MAGA narrative.
Why is it
the
always...
New York Times didn't write exactly that. Well, okay. That was what was reported, but they only went missing after we passed them along to finally, yeah, we let it happen, but they gotta work, right? It's almost as bad as when busloads of undocumented individuals arrived in NYC and Democrats tried to explain them being sold into slavery was just survival work.
A big influx of human trafficking. Women on the street, children on the street. What's going on? What can you do about that?
What we're seeing, especially along Roosevelt Avenue, is a lot of survival work, right? So we see street vending, we see...
That is insane. That's crazy. Oh man, don't you just love it? Doesn't that just make you feel real warm and cozy inside when you've got these people, these Democrats or these far left-leaning people? They're just advocating for the mass influx of immigrants, straight up child labor. Well, first they advocate for the mass influx of immigrants or illegals. And then whenever they start working in like slaughterhouses as underage minors, well, they needed the money. Oh, okay. Well, what about all the prostitution that they're being forced to do on the streets? Well, it's survival work. Bro, like what? Holy shit, the mental gymnastics here is insane.
The people waiting to be picked up by construction contractors. As
I bet. They're contracted, all right.
Workers. We see all sorts of things that people have to do in order to survive. That's why we call it survival work. And while there is...
Yeah, really? I mean, last time I checked, for like 1,000 years, it was called like prostitution. I mean, I don't know why all of a sudden... See, this is the common theme here. They take a word... and then they mash the bad word with the good word and hope that whatever comes out, people will actually just enjoy the shit on the platter. Like, I'm sorry, but if you keep getting handed shit on a silver platter, no matter how many sprinkles you try to put on there to make it taste a little sugary, it's still shit on a silver platter.
Human trafficking, the law, unfortunately, does not help distinguish between those who are who are trafficked and who are not. For us to actually be...
Well, maybe if you enforce the law, then it would be easier to determine that, huh? Last time I checked, like, it's illegal regardless. Regardless of what you seem to think or feel, it's still illegal. So why aren't they being rounded up and put in jail so they can determine who's being trafficked and who's doing it for their own personal stuff? Either way, it's still illegal. Why aren't they in jail?
Able to find those bad guys and catch them.
How many times did Democrats have to openly admit we're okay with missing migrant kids being sold into slavery as long as they can benefit politically, for ordinary Americans to stop supporting this? As Becerra's running for California's governor, who just witnessed an ICE raid on a pot farm to which the Democrats fought the feds to stop them.
And I'm also working with our governor's office and our state attorney general's office to see if we can explore legal avenues to just stop these operations from occurring.
From eventually rescuing at least 10 unaccompanied kids working on a platform. But the more we look into how Becerra's history may directly implicate him, the worse it gets. As after the interview, the media still wouldn't let him slither away.
Talks for a plea deal with the DOJ over this case. You're certain that there's nothing that she could say in those conversations that might implicate you in any way?
I'm moving forward. As I said, everyone will be accountable for their actions. We're moving forward.
For the voters in California who might look at that situation and wonder if you have the chops to manage a crisis as governor, what do you say?
So first, you've conflated a lot of different things that are
Hold on.
I'm moving.
Deal with the DOJ over this case. You're certain that there's nothing that she could say in those conversations that might implicate you in any way?
I'm moving forward. As I said, everyone will be accountable for their actions. We're moving forward.
For the voters in California who might look at that situation and wonder if you have the chops to manage a crisis as governor, what do you say?
So first, you've conflated a lot of different things that are unrelated into one question. But what I will tell you is this. Remember what we inherited. When I came in as secretary...
Why can't any of these people that are running like this ever just give an answer to the question? It seems like none of them can just answer the damn questions. Like, why even bother showing up to a press conference like this if you like, immediately start trying to tiptoe around all the frickin' landmines that you've placed yourself? It doesn't make any sense. You just look like a damn fool because whenever you say, well, you've taken all this information and just lumped it into one question, like, you do realize that when you start spewing a whole bunch of nonsense that nobody can really interpret or understand, you're not helping your case, man. It just shows that you're not willing to answer the question and you want to tiptoe around it. And people are tired of that. Like, we've dealt with that for 8 years now of this lack of transparency. Just answer the damn question.
We took over from an administration that had been putting kids in cages.
It's always the prior administration, but what have you done to fix it? Oh, it's always the prior administration. What the hell have you done to fix it?
Again parroting the whole kids in cages hoax, which were actually Obama's cages, and even if it was Trump's, how is processing them to go back home better than letting them be sold? Which is why he doesn't like being questioned on it, running away like the rat that he is.
And we will move forward, and on my watch, we're very proud of the care that we provided these children.
But are you
That's all you got is 2 minutes.
This is a serious issue that some people want to see him get prosecuted for, as he's using the same tired excuse he had while serving under Biden, which provided nothing. So you'd think he'd come up with a better excuse, as
the unfortunate fact is that even if we fix this country and we get all this stuff sorted with Trump, with Pete Hegseth, with Marcus Rubius, and with JD Vance, couchfucker, the big issue is that none of these people are going to go to jail, so you're going to have copycats. That's the biggest problem with this whole thing. Unless you're willing to put these people in jail that have sat here and virtually single-handedly attempted to destroy the entire country with this nonsense, with lacking on laws, putting judges in place that shouldn't be judges, with this violent, horrid rhetoric that's been going on, unless you're willing to put them in jail, this is all for nothing. Genuinely. Like,
he's constantly being accused of this.
Mr. Becerra, are you proud that you pushed out 85,000 migrant children? They were, according to the New York Times, they were maimed, they were exploited, some were even killed. You said those are MAGA talking points. It's a MAGA hoax. Tell that to the children who died.
So I'm not sure what that had to do with homelessness, but cálmate, Antonio, cálmate.
Homeless people die all the time whenever they're not given any food because you're taking all the fucking food and you're holding it so that way they can sign pieces of paper, or you're giving it to like a bunch of fraudsters, like not the food but the money. Yeah, that tends to happen. People die. That's the problem with it.
I'll tell you what it had to do.
Saying calm down in Spanish while the audience laughs is some genuinely sick shit. They're not debating fiscal policies or police budgets. We're talking about missing kids.
You know what they're doing? They are systematically trying to colonize America, and whenever they speak whenever you have a representative, like for example that Chinese spy that got arrested over in I don't even know where it was at. She was a mayor, and they speak in their foreign language almost as if to give you the nose, as it were. It's to parade around and make it seem like you're just too stupid to know what's going on. They're essentially just making fun of you. They're like, haha, I'm here. You can't do anything about it. And they're right, because we don't have anybody in political power that's got the balls big enough to put these people in jail for treason. And that's the sad part about it, is that they're parading around while children are dying and while families are going homeless, and they're mass importing their country's immigrants, giving them the jobs and the power in the economy, and they're making fun of us for doing it.
Some of which got sold under the administration he served as HHS secretary, as our own security committee knew about the risks of trafficking after they ended DNA testing at the border, where we used to DNA swab so-called families crossing the border just to verify that they were actually related. But Biden placed max immigration over safety, so it was discontinued under him.
Look, under the Trump administration, we did DNA testing. And one pilot, I think it was El Paso, we found almost 1/3 of the families weren't even families. These children were victims of trafficking. And look, this administration lost over 340,000 children that were smuggled in this country, released to unvetted sponsors, now they can't find.
It became a huge issue in Texas.
And one of the biggest problems that we were facing in Texas was when we would come across these large groups of families and unaccompanied children, we never really knew 100% for certain that these were actually families, that they actually belonged together.
And then over in San Diego, California.
And the cartels know that now, that we're not going to be checking. We're not going to be testing to see if those children belong to the adult that's trying to bring them across.
Where reportedly, at least 1 in 10, up to 30% of these kids were not related to the adults that brought them over the border.
Jesus.
And horrifically, 60% of them being forced into trafficking drugs or being sold themselves.
Cálmate, Antonio, cálmate. Well, I'll tell you what it had to do.
But Sarah would like you to just calm down about it. Or better yet, journalists shouldn't even be allowed to ask about it. As he does kinda have a point. Why would we worry about the kids he's already lost in the most horrifying forms of slavery imaginable, when we should be more worried about the future kids he's willing to lose? As everything is pointing to, kids went missing under his watch, and any response other than, this was a tragedy. Sleepy Biden was mainly to blame, and this is how we fix it. And anything other than that just means he got away with it the first time, why not do it again, as a standard for Democrats?
And that's what they were trying to do with all this immigration as well, all these illegals that cross the border. What they were hoping is that they would amnesty, where they're already here, just block up the border and allow them to stay. That's what they wanted. They wanted them to immediately be able to be counted as citizens. No. Get them the hell out of the country.
Has never been lower. All he has to do is beat the disgraced congressman that dated Fang Fang and an insane raging Karen that everybody hates. Even though this is California, I honestly believe the Republicans are the frontrunners for governor, with Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco and Steve Hilton being the only real option to save the state, and more importantly, save the kids. So if you appreciate my concise, light-order commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription and you'll subscribe to Decoy.
This is a MAGA Republicans' idea of what
launched 10 days ago, made $14 million on day one.
I have no idea.
Then got hit with
of animation you can create on your own.
So we got to cover a little bit of the AI stuff now, since it's going to be making all of our water contaminated, and it's going to make our electric and water bills skyrocket, and it's going to pollute our air. We might as well talk about what you can do with AI now.
Does truly amazing. We really are just limited by our imaginations at this point. Go tell your story. Made in Runway AI. Are you guys ready to watch an AI video?
What is it?
It's one of those things they talk into.
You mean a phone?
Whatever it's called.
It's called a phone, and that's not a phone.
I think it's a phone.
And I think you're a nitwit.
Your mother's a nitwit.
What did you say? Ow, 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 stop that!
What you guys looking at?
A phone.
Remember, guys, this is the worst it's ever going to be. This is the worst AI and generative AI is ever going to be.
I'm going to kill you.
Why don't you just push the button?
Yeah, genius. Why don't you just push the button?
Why don't you just push the button?
You push it.
Ow,
You
stop
push
that
it.
now. No.
You push it.
Damn. Damn.
Guess it's not a phone. I want to go next.
What is it?
It's one of those.
If you think for 1 second that a company is going to keep your job as an artist or as an HR department person on life support so that way they could keep hemorrhaging money to workers, you're crazy. You're crazy. That is indistinguishable from like an actual I'll keep wanting to say Paramount. It's not. It's the studio that made Toy Story. What studio made Toy Story? Pixar. That is indistinguishable from a Pixar animation.
The thing Pixar. That I said was going to happen, this is actually terrifying. And do you want to know why they're afraid?
It's because it's going to take their jobs.
It's because they're stupid.
It's not maybe going to take their jobs. It's not thinking about taking their jobs. AI is being geared to be the new workforce.
They're stupid, and they think that, like, you can't design this illumination quality animation. Eventually, the AI sucks argument is going to fall apart because this genuinely looks impressive. The argument shouldn't be AI sucks. It's AI is going to ruin the world we currently live in. And I don't know, maybe I'm not woke, but I think enabling storytellers to use the medium of animation on their own isn't a bad thing. People are suffering droughts and unclean water due to generative AI. Listen, you want to talk about water?
I'm sorry. I hate to break it to y'all, but this is going to happen. And you may be for it, you may be against it. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the rich and powerful billionaires in the world have deemed it so. And the unfortunate fact of the matter is that if they want this, they're going to get it. They will use their political-lined money pockets that they have, up in Capitol Hill. They will line politicians with money, and the politicians will pass laws that will enable this. It already has begun. They are already making massive AI data centers all over the country that are skyrocketing the energy bills. They had recently a protest outside of a city hall where everybody in practically the fucking city showed up, and the city hall members, the council of practically 4 people went ahead and passed it anyway, without even giving the city an actual vote for it. This is going to happen, and the unfortunate fact of the matter is that we will not be able to do a damn thing about it. It will make your electricity bill go up. It will contaminate your water. It will cause the water pressure in your house to be non-existent. You will need to get gallons of water gallon water from the store in order to flush your toilet or take a shower. It will cause your electric bill to skyrocket. And in fact, the council that I was just talking about in that community was voting on raising the water bill to meet the expectation of that data center, and they approved it. instead of being astroturfed to protest against this Palestine and Israel bullshit that's over with, or the mobs of trans things, we have a very sneaky thing in this country that is systematically taking it over. And these dumbasses that are protesting in these AstroTurf protests with this trans and fuck Trump stuff and ICE and all this crazy stuff, they are being AstroTurfed to steer the eye of what is really going on behind these closed doors. I guarantee you they're AstroTurfing these protests in order to make it even harder for people to realize that these data centers are coming. They are coming quick, too. Fast.
Situation. I want to think about all them countries on the other side of the world that are shitting into the water. Shitting in the river. I don't want to be thinking about no AI.
Well, I'm from Louisiana, but I live in Texas. And Texas is where the biggest data center is already scheduled and approved to pop up in. And our power grid already can't sustain what we have. What the fuck are we going to do with that big-ass data center connected to our grid? They're saying that the data centers that are already out are taking up 1/3 of their entire power grid. What the hell? Why would we hook that up to us? That doesn't make... And we're supposed to get the biggest one in the country.
Water whenever we got people that are shitting in the water, putting dead bodies in the water. I don't want to, no more Disney propaganda. I guess so. And Don't Live, you playing that game? I am. But anyway, the medium animation, using a medium to create slop based on a foundation of actual work.
The days of the $20 and $30 water bill may be behind us soon.
I've written a story. I want to animate it. My only option should be to learn 3D animation, not do it at all. Yeah, they want to take your options away. They want to take your options away so they can continue having a job. And this is the future, gentlemen. This is hilarious.
I agree with everything that AI can do. I want to make this very clear. I think that AI is inevitable, and I think that AI can make technology and advancements in our physics that will put us far past Mars. I do. The issue is that it should be the people's choice of the state and or not just the state, but the cities that they're building these data centers next to if they want to pay more in water or not. That's the problem that I see with it. That's the big problem.
I love it. Great comedic timing and audio quality. This is straight from C-Dance. How specific were you?
You could give people a tax break if they move near a data center. Even. But the fact that they're just paying off the city council members in cities to put these data centers up and force the raise of water, I don't agree with that at all. To give you an idea of how much water these big bastards slurp up, they slurp 70% of the water source that they are built next to. 70%, boys. Gone. Just like that.
In the script, it's an edit of several generations, yes, obviously. And so anyway, let's look at some of the furries crashing out in the comments. And yeah, acceptable. I don't like the expression at 23 though. It needs to be pushed more. Could you redo the expression? Oh wait, you can't? Oh. You actually think that? They're so stupid, it's sad.
Oh my fucking god, I'm so tired of lefties basing their anti-AI art arguments on quality. A decade from now, it'll be so good, yeah, no, like, the issue is that AI is the worst it will ever be.
They're actually they're so dumb.
I don't understand this
you
either.
Obviously can't.
Or like another one is they're stealing art. They're stealing art. How many people who draw art have this thing called inspiration that they get from other artists? Like whenever you have, for example, someone that draws Dragon Ball Z or like the actual artist of Dragon Ball Z, and you have somebody that wants to make a comic, but their inspiration comes from Dragon Ball Z. I hate to break it to you, but everyone's art comes from somewhere. It does. Since the beginning, almost the beginning of time. It comes from somewhere. Okay? Whether it would be paintings of the Eiffel Tower, paintings of... Now, there are obviously some older paintings that are original. But, I mean, think about nowadays how art is. They got it from somewhere. They saw it somewhere. They liked the art style, and they wanted to put that into their own, right? So, like, this whole idea of stolen art, shut the fuck up. Get out of here.
Number one, it's so easy to do that, actually. I know. And so, I feel so bad for these people. And you can see this is a person, right? This is a person that has me blocked. I don't even know who this is. Furry Frenzy? Yeah, what a surprise. And so anyway, retards. Well, yeah, they're retards. And so they can't grasp the reality of the situation. And there it is. Literally, her comment is enough to change it. I know that. That's literally the definition of moving the goalpost. If giving the bare basics of animation direction is a goalpost moving, then...
What I don't understand is why they're using water. There's a polymer or some kind of goop resin that works better than that, and you could fully submerge electronic components in it. I would assume they're using the water because it's just way more efficient, way more cheap, and it's more readily available. But the efficiency of that goop resin that I'm talking about is just way better because the temperatures remain low and you don't really ever have to worry about refilling it. And from what I understand is you can't recycle the water because it contaminates it or some shit like that.
Technology is not impressive at all for me. If the technology, here's what's funny. If the technology wasn't impressive...
If the technology wasn't impressive, then why is it that Expedition 33 won Game of the Year and then later after admitted that it used AI in some of its artifacts? If it wasn't that impressive, then how did it manage to fool every single gamer that played Expedition 33 and voted for Expedition 33? I hate to break it to you, but there's a good chance that every single movie, every single game that's been produced for the past 3 years most likely has AI in it in some way, shape, or form. You just don't know it yet because developers aren't saying it because they don't want to deal with the backlash. That's most likely the reason why they haven't really come forward on a lot of stuff and said that it has AI.
These people...
Even the narrative of some of the movies, which would explain the reason why a lot of these movies are dog shit now, could have been the effect and or relation to AI at some point using prompts.
Dedicate so much time to delegitimizing it and trying to demonize it. That's the main reason. They view it as threatening because it's good. That's the reason why. And what is this? Gonna find the moment they let us make smut on these, it'll be a godsend. Yeah, I guess so. And I think you probably already can, but you can't have precise accuracy. The more accuracy the more you're gonna need to put into it, and eventually you're gonna need the same work as an actual animator, but you get the skip modeling. Surely that's gonna be exactly what happens. And anyway, I almost never share AI generated videos. Most viral AI videos make me cringe. They look impressive on the surface, but they're hollow. The bar has been on the floor. AI made...
The issue is that when you have an AI algorithm that pushes content, and you have AI making the title, the thumbnail, the content in the video, and it's hitting all of the keywords that it needs to link up with the AI algorithm that pushes it on, let's say, YouTube or Spotify if it's music. There's a reason why AI has been topping the charts. It's the algorithm feeding the algorithm what it wants in order to make a successful video or a successful music. Because it's gonna hit all the keywords in the video lined up from the start. It's gonna make the most optimized title, hashtags, description, video. I've actually read that if you manage to line up your keywords in your comment section with how they are lined up in the actual video, like what you're saying, it will detect it better and make the content more visible. And if you have AI making the subtitles to boot, well, let's just say that the human portion of that may be a little cooked.
The entire value proposition. Nobody asks if it's actually a good piece of video content. This one is different. 47 seconds, 3 pigeons arguing over a button.
Oh, yes,
The comedic
sir.
timing
Yes, sir,
actually
Luke.
lands. The voice acting
Always.
has real intonation, not that flat AI monotone. The camera POV sets up a reveal that pays off. There's a setup, escalation, and a punchline that genuinely caught me off guard. It's the first AI video I've seen that I forgot that it was AI generated, and I just laughed. See, to me, my favorite AI video still has to be Jeffrey Epstein versus Diddy, but I would say this is definitely up there. It's pretty good, too. So, yeah. And it said the same thing about movies, who is like, maybe the voices were look dirty to me.
Oh, man, that's right.
Enough.
Y'all ready
Honestly,
for
if it weren't
this?
for the thing to happen.
Y'all remember Will Smith eating spaghetti?
So this is the AI benchmark. 2013.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
That's right.
Uncle Phil, come try this. Fresh pasta of Bel Air.
This is what it looks like now.
So have you heard of Kling 3.0?
I heard it can create multiple scene cuts like this with a single prompt. And it knows when to cut to whoever is talking.
But did you know that all this audio was also generated with the same prompt?
I guess I didn't, sir.
Study harder, kid. Eat your spaghetti.
Damn.
And it will only get better from here.
Damn. That's in 4 years. Oh my god. There it is, guys. AI slop. I guess so. 2027 is going to be cool. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, we're about to hit it. We are. We're about to hit it. I love the first one better. This one here. Yep, there it is. And is Will Smith getting...
Let me see. Change were a motor swap. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Are they trying to... Are they trying to automate motor swapping for oil changes in vehicles? The automotive industry is actively developing and implementing robotic automation for both oil changes for internal combustion engines and motor batteries, swapping primarily for electric vehicles to increase efficiency and reduce labor costs. Automated oil changes, robotic systems are being introduced to maintenance shops to perform oil changes, aiming for faster, hands-free service. How it works. Automated systems use robotic arms, AI, and computer vision to locate the oil drain plug, remove it, drain the oil, and refill the engine, with some systems using top side suction and to avoid lifting the car. If you think for 1 second, if they can't automate an entire McDonald's for service, that they can't automate a car maintenance, I don't think you realize how cooked we are, boys.
Paid forever? Probably, yeah, but not from this. So anyway, yeah, I saw this AI video and I wanted to show you guys that very clearly and very obviously it's over for digital animation. This is too good. Guilds and unions will try to void it in Hollywood, but it's over. Amazing full-length films will be made by amateurs in weeks. You'll need a distribution platform. Can anybody set up a YouTube video to be rented on YouTube? Well, maybe, right? It's funny that this looks exactly like DreamWorks animation, and they'll be like, it looks so cool, it's exactly like that thing, without understanding that at one point nothing looked like DreamWorks animation, and then someone used their brain and made it look like that. This is Pixel Smith.
Oh, Jesus.
Another AI, another convince themselves about anti
I think
comes out, and it's actually real.
Let's move on from this.
The nastiest controversies in recent gacha history. Streamers quit, voice actors quit, sponsors pulled out, and players kept playing. I want to talk about what that actually means, because I don't think most people are asking the right question about this whole situation.
Odyssey's pretty much confirmed. As I said, if they cast Elliot Page as...
So, they have officially announced that Elliot Page...
as Achilles. I don't really know what else to say other than it's going to be a really bad call.
Nope. They have already announced that Achilles is going to be the stamp.
Tell you that. Christopher Nolan explains why he cast Travis Scott in The Odyssey. I cast him because I wanted a nod towards the idea that this story has been handed down as oral poetry, which is analogous as rap.
What? Well, I guess the Odyssey's not going to be worth the shit.
Okay, that's kind of stupid. Maybe he should have cast Travis Scott as Hades.
Well, how's it going,
that way
Beyond?
He could send people to the underworld like he did with Astro World.
8 people in the crowd died that night.
Travis is clearly looking at the little...
What's going to have to happen is UBI, Universal Basic Income. Robot tax the corporations. That's what's going to have to happen. Nobody's going to have jobs, so...
ambulance servicing the crowd right in front of him, but then doesn't do anything about it and immediately follows up with a middle finger to the sky and I want to make the crowd shake.
I want to make this motherfucking ground shake.
I could just never imagine the severity of this.
To not use an orchestra for the score. It's not like an orchestra existed back then. Lupita Nyong'o will play both Helen of Troy. It's not like an orchestra existed. Not use an orchestra for the score. It's not like
So they're not even going to use an orchestra for... So what kind of music are they going to have? Dude, this doesn't make any sense.
An orchestra existed back then. Lupita Nyong'o will play both Helen of Troy and her sister. Wait, what?
Huh?
What? Is the most beautiful woman in the world. So he did confirm it. Okay, there it is. Christopher Nolan...
What?
On defending historical accuracy of the armor. I mean, yeah, I think that a giant race of, you know, like literal giants in full armor looks stupid. Elliot Page as Achilles. I think this is such a huge mistake for him to do that. You might...
I think that is exactly what he wanted originally. He didn't even like the original version of the Odyssey. He read some woke-ass traditional crap, non-traditional crap, and that's how he decided to do this. This is going to be slop, guys. The Odyssey, the new one that's coming out, is going to be garbage.
Say casting a 5'1", 105-pound girl pretending to be a boy as one of the mightiest warriors in Greek lore is going to be this film's Achilles' heel. Wait.
So they're casting a dude, what?
Achilles is 5'1". Dude, this has to stop. This has to stop. Like, this is crazy.
How tall was Achilles? I love it. Achilles is 6'1". Man, they're off by quite a bit, huh?
5'1".
So excited to be thought of for it and to be asked to come back to work with him. I loved working with him on Inception.
That really sucks because this could have been a really good movie. Man, this could have been a phenomenal movie. Well, so much for that, guys.
We all died from COVID, and we are in hell. I was watching this. see that scene suits up as Connor McLeod. Oh my god. They're remaking.
Wait, what?
Henry Cavill. Yeah, for sure, guys. Nobody is asking for this. Nobody wants this. Henry Cavill suits up as Connor McLeod. Oh my god. They're remaking Highlander. Fuck.
Damn, let's go.
Henry Cavill in the set of Highlander in Scotland. Okay, all right. This
Damn,
is
so I guess Henry Cavill is going to be in Highlander.
Talking about. Okay, good. Yeah,
they're remaking Highlander.
Right, great. Thank fucking God. Okay.
Knowing Henry Cavill, it'll be really good.
Okay, guys, there's a chance that this movie could actually be good and directed by literally a Chad.
Oh, I need to check that Highlander movie out. Hold on.
Good, man.
Ooh, man. Time is it? 10. What else do we got here? Hold on. If you're new here, please sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. And if y'all are returning, please hit like on the stream. Check out that channel membership, by the way. We're here every day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Let's get it, boys.
All right, Bill, now to the Middle East, where the ceasefire with Iran is hanging by a thread. President Trump characterizing it earlier this week as on life support. All this, as a new report suggests, the regime may be rebuilding its military strength. Trey Yingst is live out of Tel Aviv. He's got more on that for us. Hey, Trey.
Wow, everything that I said Iran was doing, they're doing. I said they were going to be rebuilding their military strength. That's all they're doing is rebuilding. Why would you give them the wiggle room? It's just so stupid. It's so stupid.
Andrew, good morning. Reports indicate the Iranians still have access to the majority of their underground missile storage and launch sites. It comes as Iranian officials are continuing their threatening language against U.S. forces and Gulf countries.
I can assure you that our armed forces are prepared for this scenario. I'm sure that anyone who dares to put their foot in Iran's territory, they would be badly regretted.
And with an ongoing U.S. military buildup across the region, reports overnight indicate that Saudi Arabia conducted airstrikes against Iran during the war. Fox reported on Tuesday the UAE also took part at the end of Operation Epic Fury. As for the Strait of Hormuz, the majority of sea traffic remains stalled, while a handful of vessels are getting through. Tanker tracking data shows a Chinese supertanker carrying 2 million barrels of Iraqi crude oil was one of just 2 ships to pass through the strait today. The Middle East remains on edge after the latest efforts for a diplomatic solution with Iran did not pan out. In a post on Truth Social overnight, President Trump said, in part, Iran had 159 ships in their navy. Every single ship is now resting at the bottom of the sea.
That's right. They're coral reefs now, where they belong.
They have no.
They even had made some new ships that are now coral reefs, man.
Navy, their air force is gone. All technology is gone. Their leaders are no longer with us.
Yeeted and deleted on entrance.
And the country is an economic disaster. Only losers, ingrates, and fools are able to make a case against America. President Trump had a message for Chinese President Xi Jinping regarding Iran ahead of his departure to Beijing. The Chinese are the world's largest.
Still holds bars now, boys.
Crude oil.
What is your message to President Xi as it relates to the Iran war?
Well, I think, number one, we're going to have a long talk about it. I think he's been relatively good, to be honest with you. You look at the blockade.
How's it going, Red Raven?
Problems. They get a lot of their oil from that area. We've had no problem, and he's been a friend of mine. He's been somebody that we get along with. And I think you're going to see that good things are going to happen. This is going to be a very exciting trip. A lot of good things are going to happen.
Here in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is holding a security assessment today to prepare his forces in case the war resumes. Sandra?
All right, Trey Yingst there live out of Tel Aviv for us. Trey, thank you.
Hold on.
All right, a live look now in Beijing.
Yeah, there's really not going on. Not a lot going on with this. I'm not going to sit here on Fox too much longer. We're going to move on from this because there's just nothing going on when it comes to Well, the Iran war. Unfortunately, things are going to get really slow here because there's not really a whole lot of stuff going on at all. What is this? Anti-Israel mob swarms Brooklyn synagogue. What is this?
So a violent anti-Israeli mob hurling anti-Semitic slurs and waving Palestinian flags while raging against police outside of a Brooklyn synagogue last night.
So you can see a pro-Palestinian shoving a Jewish girl as rioters chant globalize the Intifada. It is the second anti-Israeli protest like this in under a week.
Well, then round them all up and put them in jail. They're actively going out of their way to bully and hurt people, then round them the hell up, put them in jail, and charge each one of them with a form of domestic terrorism. I mean, it's literally prosecution of religion. If they're sitting there beating up a different... They are literally bringing their war from their country onto our doorsteps, in our homes. This is ridiculous.
Mamdani has yet to condemn this attack. It's the second in a matter
of course he has.
Weeks that we've been reporting. This one happened last night. It was an Israeli real estate event in Brooklyn, and there were a lot of police. Despite that, though, there were several incidents. Two minors were arrested for throwing eggs. There was flag burning. An Israeli flag was burned during the demonstration. And there were a few dozen pro-Palestinian activists that were met by this larger group of counter-protesters.
I'm sure these guys are being financed from outside the country. There never in the past have been Palestinian movements like...
What you do is you just mobilize the United States military, or you mobilize the National Guard, round these people up. If they're immigrants and they're here protesting in our streets, immediately denaturalize and deport them. If they are, because they're being violent. I mean, they're being violent. I hate to break it to you, but it's time for you to go. And what you do is, if they're Americans in here, you put them in jail. Put them in jail for a year.
Most people don't even understand it. It's a part of the Middle East that usually is a dial tone to most Americans, but over the last 4 or 5 years, it's all of a sudden we got these wild activists. It reminds me of what happened with the
It's because they're all being fucking paid, and whenever you call them out for being paid protests, they get real mad.
Technology
it's
on
obvious
fossil
what's
fuels,
going on.
and,
the same people
and then
too.
It became the race problem after George Floyd, and now they say, okay, let's focus on making Jews the problem, which they are not.
Brian, I'm so glad that you said that, because we characterize these as anti-Israeli, anti-Israel protests. Why are you outside of a synagogue? I mean, we know exactly who the target is right now.
Exactly. You can't tell me that they don't, like, the FBI doesn't look into these guys as information and see what the goal is here. It's completely obvious. Everyone who sees this, everyone that is around this, all the legacy media knows this. The government knows this. I don't know why the hell we continue to allow this. I just don't get it, man. I really don't.
And you're screaming, globalize the Intifada. Really?
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. It's a hate crime, right? Because if you're targeting them, you're actually going to their synagogue because you don't like their religion, you don't like them as people. And then you start an argument like this. On May 5th, this also happened outside of Park East Synagogue in Manhattan. There were 100 protesters.
It's not your First Amendment right to cause violence in the middle of streets. That's not an amendment. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. First Amendment says that you can peaceably assemble, never says that you could riot. Whenever you start attacking people, burning flags and doing all... It's not even an American flag, funny enough. Funny enough, it's not even an American flag. It's like a foreign country's flag. Burning a flag is an incitement to a riot. I mean, that's what it is. And that's the reason why Trump made it illegal to burn the American flag. It incites violence. You've got people being beat up, like they're standing outside of a synagogue. Why the hell else would they be standing outside of a synagogue? Like, come on, guys. Seriously, come on. They're being like combative with police as well. Like, nah, dude.
NYPD.
Remember how many of these older people have nothing to do with Columbia University were protesting at Columbia University until they shut down the campus.
I was going,
to
T. Shipley.
And then now the same thing that they wanted. They were asking for Palestinian rights. We're condemning Israel. And now we have a situation where these
That is true. I think you also, in some cases, you have to have permits to protest. That is very true. And the reason why you also want to get permits is because the police can work with you if you have permits. So yeah, no, it does make sense. Don't forget to hit like, guys. Don't forget to hit like on the stream.
Meanwhile, Hamas was praising, remember, when they were holding all the hostages would come out and say they were praising the students. They were clued into what was happening. Yeah. There was links between the students, what was happening in Colombia, and what was happening in Gaza.
Yeah, and before the October...
No, they're literally bringing their blood war onto our streets. Like I said, like, it's not... Being in America as an immigrant is a privilege. It's not a right. So whenever you start protesting and bringing your damn war to our streets, they need to round these guys up. They need to check their immigration status, and if they're an immigrant, they need to be denaturalized and deported. It's not your country's right to bring your bullshit to our country and sit here and do this on the streets. Regardless of who's who.
There's reports that talk about them changing their profile pictures to the paragliders as well. And by the way, the silent mayor on this, remember this department, the unit that's responsible for handling these protesters, he wants to get rid of them. So these Jews that are attending their synagogue, they would have no defense there. They would have no one to protect them from these people that are screaming, globalize the Intifada in front of their synagogue.
Right. Remember, he didn't condemn the phrase. When he was running for mayor, he never condemned the phrase. So why would he condemn the chant? And this is very easy. If there was an anti-Muslim protest, this guy would have been there last night.
Nothing to do with India. We don't have any animosity towards India. I don't see any point in invading India whatsoever. Their culture is actually very rich. Not like money-wise, but it's very like... rich with all the traditions they have over there.
Look at that sign.
Look at all these flags. All these kafiyas. There's no
sand. No, fuck that, dude.
Many of them have never been to the Middle East, and we just allow this to happen.
Exactly.
So hopefully there's some accountability soon.
There needs to be accountability.
That's why Benjamin Netanyahu said on 60 Minutes, I told our government to be prepared not to have any aid from the U.S. because the next generation of Americans, sadly, feels like that. Not hopefully in your household. But
well, you have to realize that a lot of the immigrants that are taking part in that riot in this are most likely people that were part of terrorist organizations that were either exiled or were facing death or prosecution in their own country, so they fled. So 9 times out of 10, like just like what's going on in Portugal with all those, like they're like a terrorist organization that is known by several countries as a terrorist organization, waving that flag that they have and their tattoos and their hats and stuff. Like it's completely obvious. Everybody knows it. I just don't understand why the fuck nobody's doing anything about it.
Been to the Middle East.
That's the scariest part about it.
So hopefully there's some accountability soon.
Right. That's why Benjamin Netanyahu feels like that. Not hopefully in your household, but the ones that are activists and the loudest feel like that. That's why they say, look, we're going to survive, and we're going to just provide our own aid because we're not going to let the Democrats like Cory Booker just deny us arms anymore. We have to produce our own.
We could be one president away from not giving any money to Israel.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows.
So do we have any more about these protests? Synagogue, FDA commissioner. Do we have any more about this? I'm not seeing anything else about it. I don't want to cover more of the riots and stuff because, like, when was this? 2 days ago? 2 days ago? Are there any more riots that have happened recently? Doesn't seem like it. God damn it! I want more. I want more. I want to see. We know they're rioting. Where are they at? Why are they hiding it so damn much? Why are they doing this? That's the one we just watched. What is this? What happened here? Who's this?
FDA Commissioner Marty McCary is resigning. That is according to the AP, who is citing an administrative official. McCary's 13 months at the agency saw disagreements with lawmakers, White House officials, drug makers, and HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy. That just in, the FDA Commissioner Marty McCary has resigned. We'll be right back.
Pussy. Governor for allege. What is this?
So with that, we bring in Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen. Secretary, it's great to have
Remember, guys, Ilhan Omar's trying to defund the Department of Homeland Security so that way they can import more of their blood feuds, as it were.
with us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Whatever's going on, like, why is, like...
Bring me on, Martha.
So you see...
Hold on. Like, what is going on? Why does everything feel so damn dull right now? Like, what the fuck is going on? Videos, let's see. Is there anything that's happening? Gas prices, fueling inflation amid Iran war, murder convicted, China rival, Scott door for Alabama to redraw. Speaker Johnson honors fallen officers, energy costs, push inflation higher as Middle East conflict. Candidates pull out of upcoming LA mayor. Ooh, they're roaching out now? Hold on, this is juicy.
Live now from Fox. We continue to bring you some of the day's biggest top stories and headlines. Your host, Mike Bache, as we of the program, Brian Sobel, political analyst. Thanks so much for joining us here, Brian. And yeah, this comes at a moment where it seems like Spencer Pratt is surging and maybe the LA mayor is coming down a little bit as far as, well, leaving debates as well.
Mike, good to see you. Yeah, the race is heating up.
You talking about me?
Spencer Pratt, who is a Republican in Los Angeles, where Democrats...
Mayor got slammed about his comments about Walgreens having the... as a... Do you, let me see. Did y'all post anything in the Discord that I could look at? I don't want to see that. Where's that at? We might have to do CNN or something, bro. Like, I don't know what's going on with Fox, but they cooked, man. Actually cooked. Rachel, let me see. Let me try CNN. Because Fox ain't got shit, bro. Let's try CNN. Who do you got on CNN? That's right, guys. I'm falling to the other side. Let's see what the negative sentiment is. Let's change it up a little bit. What is this? Putin scaled down celebration could signal trouble for Russia. Biz grows. Trump's Iran deal may end up seeing the regime. I love how they're using a gambling site now. I love it, dude. What is this? Talking about the antivirus. There's shit. CNN investigates apparent links between Iran and oh, here we go. This looks fun.
17 claims of attacks targeting mostly Jewish sites. Asking me if I have access.
This
Obviously
is not
group
what
calling
I thought it
itself
was.
had a
Where's that video? Because you said you found a video that was talking about, where was it at? The first war of the U.S. fought, blah, blah, blah. Infamous Lord. Where is this, had another teen take over in Chicago. The mayor got slammed about his comments about Walgreens. Where's this at? What's the name of the channel? The Walgreens thing was basically them leaving from Johnson was telling everyone it's bad and should be corporate abandonment, and they came. That's crazy. Rachel, LOL, the most truth. You are so informed. Otherwise, just trolling and probably lying. Yelling never makes anybody right. Oh, man. Stinks. Oh, look, they did talk about it. Yeah, they did cut the gas tax.
Live now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. Always great to be with you. Now let's talk about gas prices. Always a hot button issue. You see it across the country as really the prices have no doubt.
How's it going, Lunchbox? It's been a while, man. Hope you've been doing all right.
Today, President Trump said he supports suspending the federal tax on gasoline to help Americans shoulder surging fuel prices caused by
the goal is to make the Texas power grid go down with all the lighting.
Just a little bit ago,
so far unsuccessful, but we'll get there one day.
Earlier today.
Yeah, I'm going to reduce until the. Let me tell you, as soon as this is over with Iran.
To help break it all down from Politico, James Bicalis, great to have you on here, James. And yeah, this comes as a moment. So the president is on board. Both sides of Congress seem to be. So how quickly can this happen?
Yeah, well, great to be with you, Mike. It's been, a whirlwind of the last couple months on the oil beat as the administration.
The most. Hold on. The most. Where's that at? At the most. Where's that at? Dustin, Kush, Redville. I don't see anybody called at the most. I don't see anybody called at the most. Where did Infamous Lord? Did he say anything back? Leaving Chicago? No, nothing yet.
Looks deeper and deeper into the toolbox to try to, find measures to rein in this increase in price, the price of gasoline. And the latest idea is, of course, the suspending the gas tax. It's very interesting.
Morning,
actually, the White House had sort of oil cradled in this.
Bro, there ain't shit going on in the news right now, dude. They just fucking slow as balls, bro. Where is all the good stuff? Like, even Fox isn't covering the damn, Fox isn't covering shit either. No one's covering any of, like, the riots or protests or anything. Man, this sucks. There's nothing going on right now anywhere, and it sucks wieners. I guess we should be thankful. That means that they've taken so many fat L's, they have nothing else. How could you... Iranian regime excuse a grad student accused of spying. Oh, yeah, because, you know, that's totally gonna... The 5 on Trump's derangement syndrome. Ooh, Trump's derangement syndrome. Let's talk about how people hate the color orange. I like that.
Empty. Greg Gutfeld, your thoughts?
Well, you watch Warnock there saying, like, you know, how do we talk?
This does not look like news. This looks like some kind of talk show thing. I don't want to catch copyright. Fuck that. Bro, what the fuck? You know what? Fuck it. We'll find something else. Obviously, Fox doesn't have shit today, so we'll just react to something else. Why is this a thing now? My God, this is annoying as shit. Fuck off with this, YouTube. Get this crap out of here. And it doesn't even work. Look, it broke everything. If you don't like the stream, why are you here? Yeah, I mean, that's true. If you don't like being here, then just don't be here. I mean, if all you've got is negative comments, you're going to find it a little hard, huh? Asmongold upload something? Hold on. Oh, hey, here we go. Here we go.
The White House says, okay, our CT stands for, I'm assuming, counterterrorism, prioritizes the neutralization of hemispheric threats, and so all of this is ISIS, and this is also, so the bottom part is what really matters, right? And so, our nation has not been well served by its...
Our nation has not been well served by the intelligence community, IC, which has been mired in old ways of looking at threats as... or has been actively weaponized by its leadership as a political tool, whether plotting against conservative Catholics attending traditional mass in Virginia, parents standing up for their children and school board meetings, members of Congress, or President Trump and his associates. This administration will continue to prohibit the IC from being used politically against innocent Americans as real threats where as real threats were ignored or underplayed. Americans have witnessed the politically motivated killings of Christians and conservatives committed by violent left wing. So they're going after, what this means is that, you remember that video that we watched where the FBI showed up to that guy's house that was extremely right? He was a right-wing right-wing radical after Charlie Kirk was murdered, right? And the FBI investigated and brought the guy's family out and sat there and continued to ask him questions in front of his family, and then they went to their friend's house. This is what I've been talking about. Is as long as you're on the left side and you're a radical, for whatever reason, you keep getting, under the scope. But the second that you're on the right political atmosphere and you're a radical, you are completely humiliated, investigated, thrown in jail. And what the mentality is, well, your First Amendment right. Well, no, your First Amendment right doesn't give you the right to advocate for violence and death of people that are your political opposition. Dictatorships do that, or at least ones that are posing as democracies. And that's what it's the systematic weaponization of the police, the FBI, and the CIA against your political opponents. And that's what's been going on. I mean, it's obvious that's what's been happening, right? But now, if you're going to enforce it on both sides. And Trump is trying to address that, and it took long enough, honestly.
Community. True. which has been
It
mired
took long
in
enough.
old ways of looking at threats, or has been actively weaponized by its leadership as a political tool. Whether plotting against conservative Catholics attending traditional mass in Virginia, parents standing up for their children at school board meetings, members of Congress, or President Trump and his associates, this administration will continue to prohibit the intelligence community from being used politically against innocent Americans. As real threats were ignored or underplayed, Americans have witnessed the politically motivated killings of Christians and conservatives committed by violent left-wing extremists, including the assassination of Charlie Kirk, who espoused rather extreme transgender ideologies. So this is the part that that's getting everybody mad, okay? In addition to cartels and Islamist terrorist groups, our national counterterrorist activities will also prioritize the rapid identification and neutralization of violent secular political groups whose ideology is anti-American, radically pro-transgender, and anarchist. We will use the tools constitutionally available to us to map them at home, identify their membership, map their ties to international organizations like Antifa, and use law enforcement tools to cripple them up.
Yeah, but I guess Chad is hungry, ain't it? Yeah, that's what's been... no, it's called because MAGA is not pro-America, at least what is a fellow and... Y'all have a good day. Stop listening to the propaganda. But you literally just came in and stated propaganda. Are you going to run out now that I pulled you up? You really going to run out now that I'm looking at chat? I certainly hope not. So what about Donald Trump fixing... Trump is only trying to address staying out of jail for himself and anyone that pays him along with making as much money off as the presidency as he can while following no laws. Y'all have a... So, like... How did you come to that conclusion? I mean, it's no different than Biden using the presidential pardon to pardon his son and Anthony Fauci. You do realize that's hypocritical, right? Biden did the exact same thing. He pardoned Anthony Fauci, and he also pardoned Hunter Biden. Like, you're trying to apply this to only one side. Like, Trump did it because they did it. I mean, why wouldn't he? That doesn't make any sense. He's probably already gone, aren't you? You are in a cult, kiddo. However, we will welcome with open arms to join the rest of us on the right side of history. And you see, that's just stupid thinking. You're a child. You're thinking like a child. There is no right and wrong side of history. We're being systematically colonized and overtaken by a group of people that are anti-American. They even state they're anti-American. Whenever you have Democrats openly advocating for Hassan Piker, who is claimed that America deserved 9/11, has stated several times he's anti-American, anti-Western culture, goes to communist Cuba, and then drains the power from the entire electric grid. These are the people you want to back? They said spill the streets with their red capitalist blood. He advocates for terrorist organizations. Like, what are you doing? And you want to tell, like, what? Yeah, you are not living in the reality. You're not living in reality. Get up. I'm not living in reality. So, what has Trump done that's anti-American? Give me one thing that Trump has done that has been anti-American. Oh, that's it, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. While we're waiting on you to answer that, I'm gonna let chat decide if you stay or go, because chat's hungry. So that way I'm not wasting my time.
Operationally, before they can maim and kill the innocent. We will do the same to the state sponsors, with the state sponsors of such groups and the governments undertaking lethal plots on U.S. soil or against Americans everywhere. Thank fucking God. Holy shit, I've been waiting on this for thank God, this is amazing. Finally, and in special strategic category, we will maintain and increase our national assets to combat and render safe the most dangerous terrorist threat in America. Non-state acquisition and the use of weapons of mass destruction, especially the terrorist use of nuclear and radiological devices. This mission, okay, so it's more terrorist stuff. Technological advances since then necessitate the re-examination of the threat and an update to our relevant counterterrorism policies. So they're finally going to stomp these people out. I hope that's what happened. Finally, we get to see the boot on these people. I don't believe this until I see it. That's the way that I feel about it.
Looks like this guy is cooked. And poll. Looks like he's cooked. Looks like that guy has cooked it. He's cooked it, guys. That's it. He's cooked it. And per the usual, no response. Oh well. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Have fun. And to those of you that are just making broad statements with absolutely nothing to back it, you're stupid and I'm just ignoring you. Get ignored, loser.
This happened. And the obsession with trans people needs to be studied. I mean, again, it's not a coincidence, I think, that these ideologies, it's not about necessarily being trans, but very clearly the trans community, I think, has
It has nothing to do with the trans community. It has to do with their radicals. The people that are going into GameStops and destroying GameStop's property because they got misgendered. That's the fucking problem with it. That's obviously the problem with it. That always was the problem with it. Nobody cares about the people that want to convert and then do their own thing in their life as long as they're using the right bathrooms. They're not actually, disgusting freaks, and they actually just, want to transition and move on with their life and act like it never happened. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about the radicals that are advocating for death of political opponents, death to anybody that is in opposition to them and what they want. Those are the people that need to be locked up.
Huge problem with the normalization of violent rhetoric as a response to not being identified in the way that they want to be. I think this is very obviously the case. And if you look at a lot of, trans discourse or anything else, just scroll down and you're going to have somebody that has a knife, a gun, or some other form of violence as an inducement for people to acknowledge their gender. This is the problem. And even if you think that they're not violent,
I'll say this because, I don't have any problem with anybody that transitions and keeps that stuff quiet to them. I have fought fires with a trans person before. I got no problems with trans. I have a problem with is these violent radicals. And that is not just a trans thing. I got a problem with that on the left and the right. Period. Stop advocating for death and fucking violence. It's not in the Constitution for you to advocate to kill somebody. Jesus Christ.
You just look at the way that they're talking, and that's bad. That's bad. What is this? Let me see if I can show this. What is this? What's this? What is this? It's another knife. A sword. Look at
protect trans. There's no such thing as a trans kid. That's just bullshit. Read banned books. Teach all history.
This.
That one's not that bad.
Problematic.
That's not.
It really
as
is. That's
bad.
a lot. Didn't a
yeah, this
politician
one
work?
is just disgusting. The one where it emphasizes like the knife. There was a senator that wore a shirt similar to this whenever they were advocating for like the trans kids and crap. Nah, dude, get that shit out of here.
Yeah, the
Get that
lieutenant
shit the
governor
fuck out.
for Minnesota did.
Yep. Minnesota. Of course, it's Minnesota. What other country could it be?
Right here.
Go
And
figure.
So you have these
I mean, what
people.
other
This
state
is
could
the
it be?
reason why. If you didn't want people to treat you like a terrorist group, then why are you enabling people to openly advocate for terrorism? If you didn't want to be treated this way, then you shouldn't have allowed your community to be infiltrated by violent people that want to push terrorism. Like, it's so simple. It's so obvious. Obviously, every trans person...
I'm trying to... in my opinion, maybe we should just cut Minnesota off. I mean, at this point, shit.
doesn't support this. And I think that here's what this is
we can just make a big fucking wall around Minnesota and wall it off and cut it from the power grid and see how it goes in there. You know what I'm saying?
Actual opinion. I think that there's a lot of trans people that just think they're a woman or think they're a man, and they just want to live as a woman and they want to live as a man. And this stuff, I think, freaks them out too. I bet they don't like this either, but they don't want to speak out against it.
It was obviously me misspeaking. I misspoke. It happens.
Because then now you're alienated by everybody. I think there's a lot of people that feel that way that are trans, but they don't want to speak out against it.
They don't want to. A lot of the trans people that just want to transition and then go on with their lives don't want to speak out against it, because the issue is that there are a lot of people that don't agree with them being trans, and the opposition is that not the opposition, but the other side of that coin is a bunch of people that want the transitioning of the radical transitioning, like for kids and advocating for death. The thing is like the normal trans people, they aren't really in a place to side with one side or the other, because at the end of the day, the normal trans community, the people that just want to transition, they will be alienated by one side or the other. And typically they're already alienated by the side of people that just dislike trans people in general. So if they go against people that are radical, that have all this community push, what's going to end up happening is that they're going to end up being alienated from both sides. So a lot of them are just too scared to speak up. That's one of the reasons why LBG is trying to tear away from the TQ plus alphabetical community. You know what I'm saying?
Weakness by affirmation of default. Yeah, so anyway, I'm very happy the government is doing this. I'm tremendously happy. I'm massively happy about this. And the only thing I'll be happier about it more than, is that if they actually start doing it, right? I mean, like, it's great that they put out a post about this and it's got everybody talking about it. But, like, where are the actions being taken, right? Where are this?
We are all sick of fundamental economy signs. Biden was bad. Trump was worse. Democracy. Do you have anything to add? You're obviously just trolling. I'm just gonna let chat decide what happens to you. I was just trying to ignore you, but you're just too stupid. So we're just gonna go ahead and let chat decide what happens to you, while I continue to watch this amazing video.
I can tell you that's true. Someone close to me is trans, not a wackadoodle. Yeah, I don't think most people, this is what I think, most people don't really care. But the moment that you start trying to introduce trans ideology to prepubescent children, the moment that you start trying to invade women's private spaces that are segregated by sex and not gender because of sexual organs, that's the point where you have stepped beyond, you know, living inside of your bubble of freedom, and you are now in society. And the moment that you decide that you want to impact other people, the moment that you want to decide that you want to be able to do something that could affect other people, you
like
now
this
have to have a lot.
This guy's completely cooked, by the way. He's completely cooked. It's funny because the second that he got pulled up, he stopped posting shit. Hide user on channel.
Rational reason for it, rather than just simply repeating dogma or telling people how you feel. There has to be a reason for it that transcends your own, like, basically your own self-referential feelings. That's it. Act like victims whenever they're being held accountable for being violent. Thank God. Thank God we're categorically. That's the important word.
Extremes, including the assassination of Charlie Kirk by a radical who exposed extreme transgender ideologies, in addition to cartels and Islamist terror groups. Our national CT activities will also prioritize the rapid identification and neutralization of violent secular political groups whose ideology is anti-American, goddamn W, Donald Trump. Rapidly pro-transgender and anarchist, Donald Trump. Let's go, bruh. We will use all the tools constitutionally available to us to map them at home, identify their membership, map their ties to international organizations like Antifa, and use law enforcement tools to cripple them operationally before they can maim or kill the innocent. We will do the same with the state sponsors of such groups and those governments undertaking lethal plots on U.S. soil or against Americans everywhere. That means that all these little pissant protests where they're becoming violent riots, they're going to start looking into them. Finally. Holy shit. You advocate for the death of somebody on TikTok? You in jail, bitch. Enjoy jail. You advocating for anti-Americanism in America? Jail.
Violent, not secular political groups.
Finally, and in a special strategic category, we will maintain and increase our national assets to combat and render safe the most dangerous terrorist threat to America, non-state acquisition and use of, I would assume that's weapons of mass destruction, especially the terrorist use of nuclear and radiological devices. This and the attribution of a nuclear threat of remain presidential priorities as laid out during the first, I guess, Trump administration in, I guess not. I don't think that's Trump. In SPM 35 and ESPM 36, technological advances since then necessitate a domination of threat and an update to our relevant CT policies.
Violent secular political groups. So these what it is, but anyway, I'll look at some of the posts about this because there have been, they only focus on one word. Need to destroy your argument. Do you want me? So, like, what does that mean? Terrorist freaks, and they're being bombed by Israel, and they're basically just Gazans that are being killed by, you know, both Hamas. We've gone from,
I am so happy he said this.
Like, at the beginning, it was sexist, got devalued. Then is devalued. Now we're working on pedophile being devalued. Trend. These people see the plight of the Palestinians, the Israel, and Like, even if you are pro-Israel or anything else, or you're pro-West, it's sad to see these people that are being killed, and they're being...
I feel really bad for the people in the Gaza Strip, for sure, but at the end of the day, a terrorist regime killed 2,000 people, 2,000 Israelis, and captured like 400 of them. Like, fuck that, dude. I'd bomb the shit out of the Gaza Strip, too.
Government of terrorist freaks, and they're being bombed by Israel, and they're basically just getting hit from both
they're stuck in between, because if they go against Hamas, they get killed. If they're attacking Israel, and Israel is retaliating. So, like, the only real victims in Gaza are the 2,000 people that those Hamas dickheads killed and took captive, and the Gazans, man. The people that are caught in between.
It's horrible to think what's happened to them. Now, you can say that it is or isn't a genocide. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, these people are trying to water down the term of genocide so they can create a narrative to allow them to effectively steal that same type of moral authority.
Big surprise, the people that are crying and bitching and complaining about Israel and Palestine are probably paid protesters, because Hamas, a terrorist organization that's been funded by Iran, caused that. So a big fucking surprise that the people that are being bombed in Iran are sending out propaganda to twist a narrative that is completely fucking false into something that it's not, so that way America alienates Israel. I mean, of course, right? That would be like if Hamas was in Canada and Canada and Hamas was able to bomb America. You don't think for a second that we wouldn't bomb Canada underneath the fucking sea level? Bro, it would be taken over by the ocean. We'd be dropping so many bombs. Of course, like...
That's the reason why they're doing it. So they want pedo devalued because in Democrats they want it legal? Well, I think they're just doing it because they think it works, right? I mean, I don't think that's the actual reason. You don't think Israelis... Right. That's right. The moment that you go after violent terrorist groups, you get called a Nazi.
That's right. That's right. You know why? Because you're defeating their narrative of colonizing the entire world. That's why. Big fucking surprise.
So, you forgot the word that was before that. You know, Eastern allies. Man.
That's right.
Man. Based, exactly. Replacement migration to the United accountable. What indication of it happening in the Europe?
All these sorts of things that we and
it's just content.
Rubio. All right. Sounds like a good
W. Okay. What else do we have? We managed to kill another like 30 minutes because of that beautiful video. What else do we have? Loom over Trump summit. China ties to Iran. Yeah, it's just more speculation. It's more fucking trash, man. May 5th. This is just a waste of time. I don't know why I keep going back to this. Let's try something else. Oh, it's stuck again. Great. Fantastic. Love to see it. What is this? What is this? The fall of Minnesota fraud. Did we watch this? I don't think we've seen this yet, have we? When was this uploaded? This was uploaded 2 days ago. We haven't seen this, guys. We're not going to watch the whole thing. We'll break it up into parts, but let's go. This is the fall of Minnesota.
The rise of Islam is real here in the United States. It's the fastest growing religion across America, and it's nearly doubled in size over the past 2 decades, and with Muslim women averaging 3.1 children compared to 1.6 for the American average, Muslims aren't just outpacing the nation in birth rates, they're also outconverting Christians. Nearly a quarter...
Man, you know why? Because they're getting paid to be here, that's why.
All U.S. Muslims are converts, and most of them used to be Christians.
I can't stand this shit.
While Christian churches are losing members, mosques are gaining members, and they're keeping them. And today, I'm here in Minnesota, home to one of the largest Muslim populations in all of America. To
I wonder why that is. I wonder why that could be. It's a mystery, really.
Firsthand, I'll be speaking with Muslims, Christian Americans, all Americans, entering in the mosque, asking the questions you guys want answered, from 9/11 to Sharia law, everything in between. There are no questions that are off the table for this video. And if you're a Christian who believes in Western values, this video might be a wake-up call to you to reignite your faith and spread the good word. And if you're a Muslim, this video might excite you for the future of Islam here in the United States. I want to apologize to anybody a part of Islam beforehand. If I do not use the correct verbiage or phrasing, I apologize. I'm not too familiar with the religion. So today we're going to be learning more, speaking with people, and seeing the rise of Islam here in the United States. And now, let's hit the streets and see what's happening. And to see the rise of Islam firsthand, we head to Cedar Riverside in Minneapolis to see how much the Islam community has grown.
You gotta be kidding me. Minneapolis. Minneapolis is fucking cooked.
Inside of this community, inside of America. What's it mean to you to be a part of Islam here in the United States?
Well, you know, I think Islam is a religion for the humanity, you know, for everyone. Islam in America growing, it's not something to do with us, it's something to do with God. And it's God's decision, you know.
What's it like being a part of Islam here in the United States?
The Islam here is growing. So I hope the Islam will grow here in America.
And why do you think so many people are converting to Islam here? It's the #1 growing religion here in the United States.
Well, it's not only the growing, it's the fastest growing religion in the world. And no one can stop it. It looks like it is the best and the final religion to humanity. So if you don't accept it, that's up to you.
Islam is the #1 growing religion here in the United States.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is so?
Because of the great influx, number one, of the immigrants that we had. Secondly, you know, some people start to see that the Islamic people in general really hold some good, true value. You know what I'm saying? Their values are really tight with how they take care of the family and how they see things that way, which is a very good, strong thing. You know?
While we were inside of Cedar Riverside, we actually met a lady who had left the Islam faith. So are you Muslim?
Damn.
I'm not. My parent was Muslim.
How come you left Islam?
Because they control me. They control my clothes, and it's not good.
Do you think women
are...
are...
big fucking surprise. They control everything. And you know what happens if they don't? If you don't follow their faith to a T? Think of Iran. Iran is prime example of what they're trying to do to Minneapolis.
Oppressed?
Yes, of course, they're breast. It's not, they don't want to, but we female, they're afraid to get killed. So that's why they wear hijab, they wear big clothes. But me, I don't want clothes. I don't want to wear. But this need to be stopped. People, they have to wear whatever they want.
So if
President Trump, you have to tell President Trump. You have to tell me a message. Females, they have this United States, they have freedom. They can wear whatever they wanted, but Islamic, they press females to wear these hijabs.
So if you're a woman in Afghanistan and you don't wear the hijab,
they kill you. They don't want you if you don't wear hijab. Even me, I wear this because they don't want me to wear a pant. Yeah.
Really?
I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm afraid. That's why I wear this. So it's not the way you think.
The hijab is a headscarf worn by many Muslim women as a sign of modesty and faith, and in some Muslim countries or underneath certain leadership, it is required, while in others, it is not. What are some large misconceptions about Islam here in the United States?
That Muslim women are suppressed.
And what makes you choose to wear the hijab?
My religion, I started wearing the hijab when I was 16 years old.
And what would happen if you didn't wear the hijab?
Nothing would happen. It's your choice.
And why do you think Islam is the largest growing religion here in the United States right now?
Because of our Quran. Our Quran, our book never changes. It's one.
No, it's because you're mass importing people. Well, at least you were.
Book, one language, one religion. There's Islam in all over the world.
Do you think Islam will eventually overtake Christianity here in the United States?
No.
Worldwide, not just United States. We have people converting every day.
And what leads a Christian man to convert to Islam?
When they read the Quran and they find the truth, and they read it in English, and they see how peaceful Islam is.
And could you shake a man's hand?
No.
Do you find that interesting that women can't shake other men's hands?
No, I don't find that interesting. It's normal.
Is it true that Muslims...
Yeah, guys, don't y'all all just want to convert to that? Like, man, doesn't it just make all the women in the chat want to convert to Muslim and be completely oppressed out of everything? Wow. You're not going to be able to leave your house without needing a man present? Doesn't that just make you want to, like, jump right in feet first?
Also practice polygamy?
Yes.
Would you accept another wife into your marriage?
In our religion, it says.
How have you seen the rise of Islam here in this area?
It's a big rise.
And why do you think Islam is on the rise here in the United States?
Because of a lot of Somalians come here from East Africa, and so they come here to practice Islam because it's safe.
Minnesota is home to one of the largest populations of Somalians, and America accepted thousands of Somalis as refugees in the 1990s due to the civil war that was taking place. And when they came to the United States, a large portion of them decided to settle in Minnesota for some reason. And now that decades have passed, those refugees have had children, and the Somali population has grown. This also raises the number of members of Islam born into the United States, and also expands the influence of Islam throughout the country. It's projected that Minneapolis is now home to over 200,000 Somalians, and now many of those Somalians are also part of the government, like Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, and now they also have another new person running for mayor of Minneapolis who's also Somalian and also...
Yeah, this guy didn't win. Thank God he didn't win. At least there's something good in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There's something good that is in Minnesota.
Muslim.
Jesus.
And Minneapolis is also one of the only cities in America that permits the Muslim call of prayer to be played out loud.
If you think it's bad what they do to women, just imagine what they do to trans communities or LGBT.
Out for all the public to hear. And right now, if you listen super closely, you can hear the call to prayer. Do you think traditional Western values...
Wait, what the fuck is that?
If you listen super closely, you can hear the call to prayer.
That's right. So I had said this a while back, and I still have throughout. So this is a siren system that they put up, and they put this siren system up on their churches or their synagogues or whatever the fuck they use, right? And they blare it into neighborhoods and shit whenever it's prayer time. They'll blare this motherfucker like at all hours of the night too. So they'll pop up like a religious church or whatever near a community of people, and they blare that shit all hours of the night. And the police won't do anything about it. You hear it?
Do you think traditional Western values are falling while Eastern values are Muslim? And Minneapolis is also one of the only cities in America that permits the Muslim call of prayer to be
I'm so
played
happy
out
he
loud.
actually like covered it too.
Do you think traditional Western values...
Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that. Hell no.
...are falling while Eastern values are rising here in the United States?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know. I would say
I guess it just depends on what you mean.
Traditional values that brought up the Western world, like Christian values. Would you say those are on the decline while Eastern values are on the uprise here?
I guess there's a lot of different interpretations of what Christian values are, so you'd have to be a little more specific.
Like the values of the Bible.
I already reacted to that. Video, dude. That video's ancient. Where have you been? I already watched it. I don't give a fuck about Jewish culture. I give a fuck about Muslim culture. I'm a fucking Christian, bruh. Any culture that moves into my fucking neighborhood and blasts sirens, fuck that shit.
Like,
I don't give
people
a fuck who
interpret
it
the
is.
Bible in different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like
the generic teachings.
Trying to twist everything against Jews, man. I don't give a flying fuck about any of that stupid shit. Take your fucking dog shit somewhere else. It don't work here. Jesus
the Ten
Christ.
Commandments.
I don't know. I think it just depends.
What's it like being a Muslim here in the United States?
I'm not speaking English. Only one Somali language.
What does it mean to you to be a part of Islam?
I don't know. I'm not speaking English very well.
How are you? Do any of you speak English? English? No. Can women speak to on camera? No. I kept going because I wanted to speak with some more of the elders here to see if they could share their story about coming here from Somalia and how they've seen the rise firsthand. However,
Hello.
none of them spoke English.
How are you? Can I ask any of you guys some questions? No?
What is a double standard? What's the double standard? Explain to me what's a double standard. What the fuck are you on about? That's not... Okay, the next thing you type, if it's not explaining to me what the double standard is, I'm gonna fucking ban you. I'm not even gonna put you up for a fucking vote. I'm gonna ban you. You understand me? So explain to me what the double standard is as opposed to making fucking lies and trying to spread misinformation. You don't care, then Jews only when Muslims do it. I just said I don't give a fuck what religion you come from. If you build a church that blares sirens into a fucking neighborhood, you rejected piece of sperm, you can get the fuck out of America. How many more times do I have to repeat that statement? You know what? You're intentionally misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm going to let chat decide if you stay or not. How about that? How about that? The hell with this. What a joke. Ban. Fuck that, dude. Wasting my time, wasting chat's time. How about that, loser? How about that?
Speak English?
English, no.
No. Do any of you speak English? I then found someone who I could speak with and ask the controversial questions that many people are curious about.
I know you have to. I know. Bro just wouldn't leave it alone, but that's okay.
Especially nowadays.
And why do you say nowadays?
It's funny, because like he's like, oh, well, you didn't cover the Tyler Olivia area. Bitch, I did. I was the first one that covered that shit before Asmon did. Well, then you're openly being racist against Muslims. There's a clear double standard. What the fuck are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here. I say Muslim, I meant Jews. Because Tyler Olivia did that Jew thing, right? I already reacted to that shit, bro. Fucking goddamn. Rip Bozo, man.
It kind of changed because of the political.
For instance, you feel like acts like 9/11 and the word and the use of the word radicalized has put a bad name on Muslims?
Absolutely.
And what do you say about what happened on
Jesus, what a frustrating piece of crap.
9/11, or those when people say Allah Akbar or things like that?
I thought it's tragedy.
Would you say that's a misrepresentation of the true Islam, or do you think
it definitely is misrepresentation? True Islam doesn't believe in violence.
Or what's the hijab represent in your mind?
It represents
oppression. The hijab is a form of oppression to make sure that women maintain slavery. That's what it is. That's what I see whenever I hear about people being killed in Iran because their headscarf isn't on correctly.
For you to be a modest, to cover your body for only your spousal, and to leave something for the imagination.
What is Sharia law? A lot of people have a conception as to what Sharia law is. What is Sharia law?
I really don't like to speak on a topic that I'm not expert on, or I don't know too many things about.
After a few interviews, somebody came up to us angry because we were asking people about the rise of Islam inside this community. My name is Nick Shirley.
What are you doing?
My name is
Nick Shirley. But remember, right? They're so peaceful. So peaceful.
We're doing a video on the rise of Islam here in the United States.
The rise of Islam.
Yeah, it's the #1 converting religion.
The rise of Islam. Make it make sense for me.
Yeah, it's the #1 it's the #1 converting religion in the United States. So we're doing a subject on it.
#1 converting religion in the United States.
It's like the #1 growing religion. So
wait, isn't it after Christ?
What?
Isn't it after Christ?
This guy wouldn't show his face on camera, and this conversation kept going for a few minutes, and he demanded that we deleted the footage of the interviews that we took here on the street.
That's not gonna happen.
I said no.
That's not gonna happen.
And he said, you better go, and we're gonna make sure you leave. I've never been in a situation like that while I've been filming, where somebody comes out of nowhere and wants to take the footage. I was watching a video prior to this video, and there is a
This is on an American fucking street, bruh. This is an American street. In America, this is happening.
On the street, I said no, and he said, you better go, and we're gonna make sure you leave.
I've never been in a situation like that while I've been filming, where somebody comes out of nowhere and wants to take the footage. I was watching a video prior to this video, and there is a small gang war going on here inside of the apartment complexes, apparently. I think we just went upon a gang, and I didn't know that they were a gang. And right now, he said, you better leave, and we're gonna make sure you get out of here. So right now, there is somebody following from behind, making sure that we get out of this place. Not the most friendly welcome here into this part of Minnesota.
So we headed to the next city to see more about the riot.
Into the video.
From Minneapolis, we went to a town named St. Cloud that's seen a dramatic shift in their demographic and as well as religion in the area.
Inside of this town of St. Cloud, this is one of the many Islamic centers here. This is a mosque here, but something that's super interesting about this mosque right here, it actually used to be a Lutheran church. You can see right here on the backdrop.
Holy shit.
Top of this wall right here, this used to be a Lutheran church, so that just shows how much of the population has shifted from Christian to Muslim as far as the people in the population here inside of this town, as this used to be a Lutheran church, now it's an Islamic mosque. So right here is the St. Cloud University, and we were just at that mosque right there, and then if you go another block over, there's another mosque. And then what's interesting is right next to this mosque right here, there's a Presbyterian church, so you have two churches right next to each other, one worshiping Allah, and the other worshiping God. Depending on who you talk to as far as Allah and God, they are referred as the same person. However, the Islamics use the word Allah to refer to their God. How would you say the Islamic community is here?
It's pretty deep in it. It's a lot of people, right? It's pretty big. They all they're pretty like.
Oh
they
God, we finally found an American. It's about damn
There's
time.
more Muslims than there are Christians here in this area?
I would say so. I would think so. Yeah, I would say so. Yes, sir.
And how do you feel about the rise of Islam here in the United States?
I don't really know too much personally. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know too much about Islam. I'm all for it, like what anybody wants to be with their religion and what they want to do. But I don't know too much about it. I just know it's real powerful here in Minnesota.
And why do you think it's so powerful here in Minnesota?
That's a good question. But I think they got.
Oh, W6 Jules, by the way, Rachel. W6 Jules.
Like powerful people, like in the government and stuff like that. They got something going on. Like they must have something here for them to come to, if that makes sense. Like there's something for them to be like. There might be more of them than black people. So
how do you feel about that?
I mean, something is bringing them here. Something is bringing them here. I feel like. And all that, I thought he was Islam, but I don't know. I feel like something is just bringing them here. Like, it must be something here that they love. So I think, don't they have like a schooling or a church or something? They got something where they all dress up and they're attending something. You know what I mean? They have events for them. There's obviously something going on where they have, you know, an event going on or something, some type of fun or family or something where they can let their family celebrate. Like, it's got to be.
For instance, right here is one of the churches, one of their mosques.
Oh, what?
And then if you go another block over there, there's another mosque.
Okay.
So there's two mosques within a block of each other here.
Okay.
So there are a lot of people here, and St. Cloud is, I believe, the second.
Isn't that kind of interesting how this is a tactic that McDonald's and Subways used to do? Think about it hardcore. How many times, whenever y'all was around or out and about, where you saw like a McDonald's and then right across the street, or damn near like up the road, there was another McDonald's trying to choke out any other like fast food restaurant that was there. McDonald's, Burger King, and Subway used to do that a lot, right? Isn't that interesting?
Or third highest population for Somalians.
Gas stations, yeah, gas stations as well. You're absolutely right, just like gas stations.
Really?
Yeah.
Minnesota?
Well, Minnesota is the #1 population for Somalis.
I knew it. I could tell.
By the way, if y'all new here, please sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. We're here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time, same place, all 7 days of the week. So if you missed the stream, don't worry about it. The streams are always up.
The Mexicans there, like, you come here, all the Mexicans gone, they switched out. Somalians. It's not a bad thing, though. I don't think it's bad. You know what I'm saying? This where y'all at? Then hey, I'm here too. What's up? Where y'all at? They got some pretty girls and some pretty Islam women I done seen. They be having nice texture hair and stuff like that. They be all covered up. Hey, it's different everywhere you go. So, you know what I mean? I just respect the differences. It's cool to me.
Right here, we're in between the Islamic Center and the Presbyterian Church. Do you see more kids here on college campus converting to Christianity or to Islam here?
Honestly, I don't really see them converting much either way. I also don't get out too much.
It's because they're not converting.
And do you see the rise of Islam?
You're not going to see a Christian walk over into a mosque. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. They're not being converted, guys.
St. Cloud?
I do see a rise of it, yeah.
And how do you feel about that?
I like multiculturalism, you know, if everyone's the same, that's fucking boring.
Do you see more people here converting to Islam or to Christianity?
Just anecdotally, I'd say that Islam's on the rise here. I do know Christianity, including our denomination here in St. Cloud, is not growing. It's actually declining.
Really so? Well, meanwhile, you guys are declining, Islam is rising.
I think that's safe to say. Our average age of our congregation is probably 55, so we're not attracting younger people.
And what's attracting the younger generations to Islam?
I don't know.
Do you see any conflicts with Islam and Christianity?
Well, that's what happens when you have a religion that allows you to have 4 wives, and each one of those wives has like 2 or 3 kids. I mean, that's where the younger generation is right there. And then, like, where they come from, their rules are so heavy. In fear of death, they have to abide by them. So the parents are most likely pushing that hardcore. So it makes a more tight-knit community. And if you have a lot of these guys packed into one area, dude, you're in trouble.
Ultimately, when you're a Christian, you believe Christ is the Savior of the world, and both the Jewish faith and Islamic and every other faith doesn't recognize that. So you're definitely at odds with each other.
Do you think Islam and Christianity can coincide here inside of this town?
I think when they get the majority, like there's more people that practice Islam, I think that it will take a different form. I think up until that point we can coexist, but history's shown that when the Muslim community gets majority in areas, they tend to behave differently. So,
And how much longer do you think this town has until the Muslim community does become the majority?
You know, I'm not an expert, but, you know, if I look at they're averaging 5 children, I think we're only at 2 generations away.
And how many kids are the Christians?
That's the overall problem with this, is that their religion it was never meant to share. It's meant to dominate. Like, that's really the issue that you should be thinking about when it comes to this religion, is that this religion, it claims to be peaceful. And in some aspects it is. And I want to state this very clearly. Not everybody that's a Muslim is this extreme. The issue is that we have a lot of extreme Muslim people that have congregated together in one location that are now dense, and they're doing it. It's just like that, what I had said before. What happens if you take a bunch of Chinese people, like let's say you take 1,000 Chinese people and you drop them into Fort Worth, Texas? I bet that bitch is going to look a lot like China, isn't it? It's the same concept. Whenever you've got them so tightly packed in one spot and so like there's a word for it, condensed into one spot, it's gonna radiate outwards with the same amount of density, and that's the issue with it. It's like a sore almost, or like an infection. It radiates outwards because the community is so tight that the more of them, the more kids they have, the more that are grown up, that are raised in that culture, the more they will begin to expand and take over that space, and less laws or less freedoms will be, more freedoms will be taken away because of that expansion. Like, you already see it with them making the churches that blare the sirens at like 5 in the morning or 3 in the morning. You see it every time Nick Shirley walks around and he gets chased off. It's the same concept. That's the problem with it. That's the big problem with it. I guarantee you, if you walk into a Christian church, you will not be chased off like they do in Minneapolis, like with the Somalians and the Muslims. And that's the huge problem about it. It's because they're acting like they have something to hide. Well, big fucking surprise, they might actually have something to hide.
People averaging here?
0. They have more cats and dogs. I hate to say it.
Are you guys seeing more people convert to Christianity or Islam here inside of St. Cloud?
Inside of St. Cloud? I mean, I see like a couple people converting Islam, yeah.
And how many mosques were here just 10 years ago?
Well, I'd say 15 years ago, there was just the one at St. Cloud State University that was a room within the university setting. So it really wasn't an active mosque community. It was more like a prayer room.
So within the past 15 years, 5 mosques have been built here?
Yeah. But then I would challenge you to go and look at the growth of the Somali refugee population, because they're the ones that really put a demand on the desire for Islam. Was Minnesota took a lot of Somali refugees.
I'm so happy to see somebody talking about this. You have no idea. Like I said, everybody knows what's going on. It's the fact that they oppress you and they bully you to not talk about it, so that way you are forced to ignore it until the problem gets so bad, kind of like how it is now, where we're in trouble. We're genuinely in trouble now, boys.
And many of them were placed here in St. Cloud. So
I don't think anybody was stupid about what was going on. They were being forced to play stupid because of the oppression and violence and the bullying and the online rhetoric that had been pressing every single person that was talking about it.
Inserted, I think, at least 2,000 Muslims that have been here for 20 years.
Do you guys think St. Cloud has been taken over by Somalis?
Hell yeah.
Do you feel like they're going to eventually overpopulate the
You see, this is how you can tell that all they have instead of counter arguments is rhetoric. They don't have anything else. So do you have any counter arguments for what I've been saying, or no, it looks like you're just here to leave a comment. And do you have any counter arguments? You know what? I'm not even gonna. He only talked once. We're just gonna ban him and move on. It's obvious that person's not gonna keep dropping in. They're just here to comment.
They definitely will.
Their first generation of their kids are going to college, and graduating, learning English. They're staying here. So I researched that a little bit, because that's uniquely what brought Islam to St. Cloud, is the Somali refugee situation.
After speaking with the lady from the Presbyterian Church, I headed over to one of the mosques to try and speak with some of the people inside.
English? Speak English? No. Anybody speak English? How are you?
Good.
Good. How would you describe the rise of Islam here inside of Minnesota, or inside of St. Cloud?
We have talked to. It's coming.
And are you from Somalia?
Yes.
And what year did you come here?
Come here at 1992.
What's attracting a lot of people to convert to Islam?
I don't really have much knowledge on that, but basically human life crosses and all that, like what's going on around the world and stuff. I think something like that.
And do the people here in Minnesota, are they very receptive to Islam here?
It depends, I guess.
It doesn't matter, they'll just import more.
I don't know.
They don't need to be.
And how long have you lived here for?
8 years.
8 years? And where are you from?
Somalia, Mogadishu.
It kind of, I'm not going to lie, it shocks me how long this has been going on, like genuinely. I just, it still blows my mind to think that this could be going on at this point for 10 years plus. Like, Minneapolis has been doing this since 2016, from what I understand. So, like,
why are
it's scary to think.
Come here to Minnesota?
Different reasons, family, wages, a lot of different reasons.
All right, so I'm leaving the building right now. Try my best to speak to the people inside. A lot of them didn't really speak English, However, now we're going to go to other mosques.
How's it
because now
going, the
it
soccer,
is,
the soccer
the
dude
times of
09?
prayer.
How's it going?
So we're going to head over to another one, see if we can talk to some more people as well.
And we're about to go into prayer right now. You can come in, take your shoes
W,
off.
the soccer
You
dude.
can, I can grab you a chair to sit in.
Okay.
You can record us.
I was kindly invited to go in and pray with the men inside of this mosque and to remain as
You're right. The thing is that with them getting government funding and them being able to, as long as they were able to commit all this fraud and get government funding, this was never going to go away. Because they would have just went back to their own country at this point because they wouldn't have had any money. And that's the fact of the matter, is that as long as there are enablers that are keeping these people on government funding, and as long as they're not being prosecuted and sent to jail, this will continue to happen. Even if, for example, a person like Tim Walz gets out of power, there will always be somebody else that will copycat it until people start going to jail for allowing this.
Well, as possible,
That's the sad part about it. None of this matters if you don't put the people that committed this fraud and enabled this fraud and enabled this effective, it's colonization. It enabled this colonization on America by abusing our systems. As long as they're not in jail, we've effectively done nothing. We've solved nothing. That's the issue.
During the prayer.
I gotta tell you one thing, man. I don't even do that in a church. You wouldn't catch me dead doing that in some other country's church like that. Look here, man. I believe in an afterlife, but I ain't exactly. There's too many gods for me to be like, oh, mine is superior. But I know, and it's just an opinion. Okay, don't get all up in arms. Keep your pitchforks down. Hold on. Let me finish. Stop it. But I don't even do this in a I don't even remember the last time I set foot in a church. I must have been like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. So I wouldn't do this in a church that I go to. I damn sure wouldn't do it to another church of a religion that I don't particularly know. Sorry, that ain't me.
I don't really know what I'm doing right now. All right, we just finished up the prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So how long does that prayer last for?
So it depends on what time of day it is. This one does not last that long. It could last for about 5 to 10 minutes.
So they blare the sirens in the morning to wake people up that have jobs that they need to work at for a 5 to 10 minute prayer? Seriously? Prayer should be a choice. It should not be blasted as a siren off the side of a damn church that's been repurposed. What the hell? And you want to talk about freedom?
Depending on what we need to do.
Do you see the rise of Islam?
Yeah, you can say so. There's all different type of ethnicities.
That's
All
crazy.
sorts of races, so I'm guessing that's a huge rise.
So inside of this Islamic center, there's also a mosque at the very bottom, but then the rest of it is also a school. This building used to be an old elementary school or something like that. Now it's been converted into an Islamic center. Downstairs is the mosque, and upstairs is where the classrooms are at. I'm gonna go have a conversation with one of the kids here who is Muslim to ask him some questions about what people are referring to.
I think that's the honest truth behind it too. I think it's a way to drive you out. It's a way to lower housing prices and drive you out of a community if they sit there and prop up one of those big churches that wakes you up all hours of the night. I think that's exactly what the fuck it is. I think you're absolutely right. I was waiting for somebody to say it too. If you are an American and you accept the American way of life, you will get this beautiful thing called a cell phone. And what you do is you set a timer on that cell phone, and then you wake your sorry ass up whenever that timer/alarm goes off. And then you do whatever the hell you set the alarm was that went off was for. You do not blare fucking sirens into a neighborhood At 3 in the morning, if you're trying to get people to go and pray, I'm sorry. Everybody knows what's going on. Just admit it at this point.
The Somali takeover, some misconceptions that I might have about the Islamic faith, and just ask and have an open conversation about what it means to be a part of Islam, and ask some other questions as well. And how many people are you seeing, for instance, like how many white American boys like me are you seeing convert to Islam?
So I'm a close friend of one of them. I wish he was here today so he could talk to you. Originally he's Irish. His family had lived in Minnesota for the past, I would say, 70 years. His great-grandparents came early on during the early 1900s, and he recently accepted Islam, I would say, 2 years ago. And when I was talking to him, he accepted Islam through reading the Quranic literature, you know?
So what's the difference between you and somebody who's been radicalized?
Well, the difference between me and someone who's been radicalized is this. Most people who have been radicalized for a political gain, not for a theological gain. Allah says in the Quran.
And here's another issue with this, is just like the mayor in New York, Mamdani, you notice how whenever the radicals threw those bombs at the police, and Mamdani talked more about the police officer that tackled him than the actual fucking terrorist radicals? They don't alienate their radicals. They want them. That's a big problem. Because your whole, well, it's a religious thing falls apart the minute you start throwing bombs at police officers in New York. I'm sorry, but that has to go. That's got to go ASAP.
لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم, which means Allah does not prohibit you from those that don't fight you, don't expel you from your homes, to be kind to them. Allah is not prohibiting you from doing that. In fact, Wallahu yuhibbul muqsitin. Allah loves those that are kind to them.
So why does the word radicalized come up, for instance, like the Death to America?
I can't tell you how many Somalians have been born or are Somalian in America, but I can tell you how many of them have been convicted of fraud and pled guilty of fraud in Minnesota that were Somalian. About 67. 67 that were all part of places like the Leering Center. I can tell you that. Maybe my radar wouldn't be over them if they hadn't committed so much fucking fraud and gotten convicted for it. Just saying.
Sort of stuff, where does that come from? Because that's a lot of stuff that maybe I see on the news, or maybe I see because I'm living here in the United States, and that's kind of the news you get, is like the Islam's taking over, and they're going to want to make sure that
it may actually be more than that at this point.
Sharia law is brought to pass and that everybody converts to Islam.
Well, there's this misconception about Sharia law. Everybody sees Sharia law as this law that puts everybody that's not a Muslim under this radical military.
I think that there's a lot of problems with religion, but I like being under Christian ideologies. I like the Western Christian culture that we have cultivated in America. I want to live in a country that is majority Christian culture, or like in that line of like stuff like that, right? That's what I want. I want that. I don't want to live under Muslim rule. I don't want to live as a Jewish person. I don't want to live under all that. I like America. I like the way it is. I don't want that to change. Fuck that. I don't want to be forced out of my fucking neighborhood because some jackass has popped up a church with a loudspeaker. Fuck that, dude. I don't want to deal with that.
That you either comply with what the government says, or you're punished. No. Sharia law is really simple.
Why is there no mention of God, Christianity, Jesus, etc.? You know why they don't mention it in the Constitution? Because it's in the Pledge of Allegiance to America. I pledge allegiance to the flag, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, motherfucker. That's why. Everyone does the Pledge of Allegiance. Almost forgot the motherfucker, too. It's been so long since I've done it. Neither is forcing Muslim culture in America. So based on that standard, there should be no religion in America, which I'd be fine with. If they want to take out religion, I'm an atheist, bro. Like, I'm an atheist at heart. I believe that there is a higher power, but you're not going to tell me that some dude built the ark. I'm sorry. That ain't happening. You're not going to win this argument, I promise you. I feel like religions have caused so much death and bullshit over the ages. I think all religions are bad. But at the end of the day, I was raised in a Christian majority American culture, and I think that it's amazing. And gaming, yes, and gaming. That's another one, yes.
A big part of Sharia law is this. The Prophet.
That's it? I thought it was higher than that. Really? No, you know what? You're right. Because the most, a lot of the newer wars, huh? Yeah, no, you're right.
Said.
Well, that's because, well, I mean, hold on, wait a minute. If you're not counting Iran, because there's a good chance that the terrorism that's going on all across the Middle East could be caused by what they claim in their religion. So we may have yet to, discover this, because there's a lot of pussies that don't want to acknowledge what it is they're doing over there. So, I mean, hold on now. Hold on. Let's think about this. It is a bunch of terrorist radicals that are doing it, are they not? Hold on now. Just like the terrorist attacks in New York, where those two idiots threw those bombs at the police. That's technically for a religion.
Not befitting for you to go to sleep with your belly full with food while your neighbor is hungry. Sharia law is not a political rule. In some aspects it is, don't get me wrong. There's a political aspect in Islam. What's specifically funny to me is the right-wing media and the radical Islamists, as I put it, both view the Quran in the same way. They both view the Quran as some war-fighting material that the Islamists use to, prove their points, and the radical right use to prove their point against Islam.
In your simplest terms, what does it mean to you to be a part of Islam?
Being part of Islam, very simply, is submitting myself to the one that created me, the one that sustains me, the one that allows me to do everything that I do.
And you guys, what does it mean for you guys to be part of Islam?
It's an honor, man, to have God bestow his mercy upon us and just be a part of a beautiful religion, man,
And do you feel like here in America, do you think Islam's on the rise?
Well, the statistics show that. I can't really say more, but I hope it's on the rise more, and more Muslims and more Americans see the true side of Islam and don't have this false narrative about us.
Do you think eventually that Islam will take over the Christian faith here inside of parts of America like Minnesota?
Not specifically take over, but we see that Islam is growing, and pretty soon, we don't know, it might be the majority. The majority of people, Minnesota people, might be Muslim, we don't know.
Would you like that to happen?
I would love it to happen, but not in a way as in for the other people to be oppressed and not have their religions. It's your life.
How many Somalians are in America? has the largest population, over 100,000. Oh, I see why that's why the entire country's eyes are on Minnesota. It's because they've got the highest population with 100,000 Somalis. Oh, that explains a lot, actually. But there's 260,000 people of Somalian descent live. Why the fuck does it say that? As of late 2024, 2025, by the way, this is not including 2026, approximately 260,000 people of Somalian descent live in the United States, including both U.S.-born individuals and Somali immigrants. The population is heavily concentrated in Minnesota, which hosts the largest Somali diaspora in North America. Diaspora in North America. Well, again, that explains why there's so much heat on Somali, on Minneapolis, mini Somali.
But I want people to just learn more about Islam.
Yeah, 200,000. That
open their minds to it.
Don't need them. If they
Hopefully
here's
God.
the thing: if you're committing fraud in America and you're an immigrant, or if you're an American, you should be sent to jail. If you're an illegal or an immigrant, you should be denaturalized and deported. If you come to America, it's a privilege, not a right. It's a privilege to be here in America if you're a foreigner. And number three, I don't really care what race of people you are. If you're committing fraud, you're stealing money, or if you don't have a job and input into the tax-paying system, it's time for you to go. That's just how it is. If you move here, you assimilate with American culture, you learn to speak English, you can practice your own religion, that's fine, but don't do it in the middle of the fucking streets. You can stay, you know what I'm saying? It's not difficult. The bar's on the fucking ground. I mean, it's basic decency. You're just expected to act like everybody else in America. I mean, let's be honest here. It's not that fucking hard.
We'll do the rest.
And when people talk about that,
But when you go into someone's house, take off your fucking shoes if you're asked to take off your shoes. It's not difficult. It's the standard.
Or for instance, they talk about how the Somalians are taking over Minnesota, and they believe it's part of Sharia law. Is that true or not true with what Sharia law says?
Well, no part of Sharia law says go into a land, subjugate its people, do this, do that. You know, I would say.
Are there Muslims that do, or are there people of the Islamic faith that do believe that part of Sharia law?
Which part would you say?
As far as going in and taking over, for instance, in the United Kingdom, there's subsets of groups that believe they need to take over.
That's because that religion is more, it's oppressive as fuck. That's why. I mean, let's be honest here. It is super oppressive, and look. The issue is that that religion clashes with American freedom. How could you possibly expect them to migrate here and assimilate with our culture if their own religion directly clashes with the United States Constitution in and of itself? You can't. They're like, goddamn, it's like expecting a snake not to kill and eat a bird when it's hungry. Like, come on.
United Kingdom, that's where I give the example of where integration has become horrible. You know, you go to the United Kingdom, you go to a street filled with mosques, and every single one of them hates the other one. And when I see it, it saddens me because it's introducing this community, the English people, to a form of
exactly
the example of where
like they bring their blood feuds onto our streets.
United Kingdom, that's where I give the example of where integration has become horrible. You know, you go to the United Kingdom, you go to a street filled with mosques, and every single one of them hates the other one. And when I see it, it saddens me because it's introducing this community, the English people, to a form of Islam which was rejected by the Prophet, a form which is disgraced. You know, going out when the Prophet would send missionaries to Christian nations, he didn't tell them to, hey, go there, yell at them, yada yada yada, do this. No, he said, be like them, dress like them, talk to them, help them, introduce them to Islam gradually. I'm not just gonna go in there and say, hey, this is Islam, take it. If you don't, you know, I'm gonna do something to you. No, it's a gradual thing.
Another thing that many people might be misconceived
Yo, whoever this guy is, W. Seriously. W.
about is polygamy. Do you guys practice polygamy?
Well, polygamy is allowed within Islam. The limit is 4. You can have 1 wife, 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives, but there's a requirement, you know?
So do Muslims practice polygamy?
Yeah, you can. You know, it's not like compulsory. Hey, you have to get married to 4 wives, you know? You can get married to however much you want, but there's a requirement. I married 1 wife. I can't just go to a second wife and treat her differently without this one, you know? I can't make this wife the main wife and this wife a specific wife just for like my chores and for my cleaning, you know? You are, as a man, you're required to provide for them. You to treat them equally and treat them with the utmost respect, because they're not just like, how I would say, your toys to play with. These are humans.
And do you think the Muslims, the Somalians, are going to outpace the Americans here with their
birthing rate? Well,
birthing rates?
Okay, if the statistics continue how they are right now, with American birth rates declining and Islamic birth rates on an incline, well, yeah. But I would love to see people like you having more kids. Kids are amazing, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of Christians aren't having too many kids these days.
Yeah, I would encourage, you know, have more kids, keep the nuclear family alive. You know, more marriages, great marriages, kids. It helps the community.
More marriages, so you want to have more than 1 wife?
Heck no. Me personally, Nick, I'll tell you this. Me personally, if I even get 1, I'll be happy.
Hello, we'd like to ask
all
where the
funded
money
by
goes.
the American taxpayer. That's right.
What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building. Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is...
All they did was write the check.
What is this? Oh, damn. Okay, so he just tacked it onto the... Okay. That's weird, but all right, Nick. I get it. All right. Well, I think that's just about it. Let me check Fox real quick. I doubt that Fox is going to have anything new. But let me see before I roll up out of here. Alex Budrow convictions thrown out. Of course it is. I don't even know who this guy is, but
we have a Fox News alert now. Breaking news this morning in the Alex Murdaugh murder case. South Carolina's Supreme Court has just thrown out Alexander Murdaugh's conviction for killing his wife Maggie and son Paul. The court is ordering a brand new trial after finding the court clerk improperly influenced the jury. Murdaugh will remain in prison on financial crimes. The story, of course, captivated the country, sparked documentaries and movies as well. Madison Scarpino is on it. Madison.
Damn, that's crazy. I don't even know who the fuck this guy is, so I can't give an opinion on it. Never heard of him before in my entire life. All right, we gotta roll up out of here. We gonna beat Devin. How's it going? By the way, if you're new here, sub to the channel, hit like on the stream. I'm here every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Same exact time every day. It doesn't change. Join the Discord. Hype up the videos. You guys have been going crazy. Leave comments on videos. Y'all have been going crazy with that too. I try to at least once every 3 days or so reply to the comments. So don't think I don't see y'all. I'm just like completely dead by the time I get off stream. I'm just like, nope, can't internet anymore. Done, brain off now. Bye. So don't think that I don't see y'all. Will eventually go through and leave comments to y'all's stuff. Just, don't think that I don't see. Oh, W Beastie Boy sent 1 Gaming Way gifted membership. W Beastie Boy. W. Let's go. Hopefully, we get some new stuff up in here soon. The streams have been really slow because nothing's really been going on. I've watched my viewership plummet, and I'm just like, oh, well, life sucks right now. I'm not even kidding. There is nothing going on with Trump dragging his feet. Now, this stuff with the radicals, them doing more investigations on these radicals, I want to see how that turns out. The legacy media isn't covering any of the riots right now for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. It's almost like everything's being taken out completely that will be good for content creators to see. It's really weird. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on with the Iran war. We might get to a point where we're not even touching base with it because there's nothing going on. It's the same, well, we're still at peace, oh, we're this, and oh, we're that, and oh, we're this. And it's like, dude, nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows what's going on, bro. Nobody knows what's going on with it. And I don't know. But we might do some daily dose of the internet. I want to keep doing the political stuff, but there's just nothing happening. Which is really weird because it's unlike Trump. So we'll see. We'll see, guys. I don't know. But just stick around because as soon as something big comes up and pops up and blows the internet up, kind of like what the Epstein files did and the Iran war and any new stuff like that, we're going to be here. It's just a matter of, you know, when things start turning into shit again. All right. W chat, W gifted, W donos, W gyms, W members, constant viewers, people that come here and click on the stream and leave a like, which I definitely recommend you do. If you can't catch the stream, just dropping by and leaving a like does wonders. Go hype up the videos, guys. Please hype the videos, please. It helps out the views, it gets more people. In fact, with the streams plummeting, the hyping the videos is the only thing that's getting me views right now. Straight up. Because there's just nothing going on. But I will be back on tomorrow bright and early. We will find some more goodies. I always do. And I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Stay friendly. Stay away from crazy people. Let's go. Try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day or their whole life. You never know. And I will see you beautiful peoples tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Peace, boys and ladies. God bless America, by the way. God, I love this country. Peace. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. Oh, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back. Moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams. We all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe